videos.
Please keep your arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times. We are now departing.
By night balloon.
Hello, people. Please make a noise so that we know that the stream is actually showing up. Not you.
I mean, you can also make noise.
Are my
it's
arms
cool.
moving at a constant rate? Are we having frame rate issues?
I believe we are live.
We're live. Okay.
It is determining quality, which usually means we're
Cool.
live.
Are we alive?
Oh,
What is our quality?
our go live notification is totally wrong. I'm
Are
just
any
gonna
of
say we're
us
live.
truly live?
Yes.
As soon as people start showing up in chat, we'll talk about what we're streaming.
Yep.
And why there's an extra chair.
The first few minutes of every stream where we're sincerely uncertain if the internet is real.
Did we tweet successfully? Hello, peoples. Please tell us when you are here so that we know that you are here.
We're honestly not sure.
Is anyone there?
Oh, that's where the people will be.
Yeah, they'll show up here.
Out there.
Waiting for people to actually show up
77.
in chat.
Okay. The
Yay,
corn
people are
god
here.
is here. So
Okay.
Hello, everyone.
Hello,
the
corn
god's here,
god.
we can stream.
Please let our crops be bountiful this year.
With that blessing out of the way, this is a special stream where
Yep,
we are
it's-
celebrating your 10th birthday, right?
Yes, my 10th birthday.
Right.
Well, Spooky Squid Games' 10th birthday. So we're now 10 years and 1 week old as of, and 1 day, 8 days.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so it's the classic 10 years, 8 days birthday celebration.
And following the rule that any year that you're not developing games doesn't count as being alive.
Yes. I didn't work, therefore I was dead.
Yeah, that's how it is.
So we're going to be playing some of the free games that are old. A lot of these I haven't played in like 5 or more years. Some of them you have not played or Andy has not played.
I think I played the most of some of these just because you've had them
Yeah.
at local events.
We also have a Parish here,
Hello.
and he's going to be helping since some of these are 4-player games, and therefore best with 4 players. So we're starting off with the Night Balloonists, which when we're finished and switching games, I'll post a link to where you can download it if you want to try it out yourself. It is a 4-player 1-button game. There comes Xander.
Party's here.
So when was this game from?
This, I have on my website when it was from. This is probably from 9 years ago-ish.
Yeah, it would have been around there for Gamma.
Yeah, it was for the Gamma 4 competition, which was a 1-button
Yeah.
competition. So all of the controls on this are a single button, no directional pad, no analog stick, just the A button for each of
Do you want
us.
me to grab the controller?
Yeah, we should
Very
throw the controller.
careful.
I will be very careful.
So we were going to play this on a custom controller, but unfortunately one of the soldering things has come undone since. But yeah, it can be played 4 players on this giant box.
And this
with
is how
roll
I
buttons.
played at events.
We've got only 3 out of 4 buttons working, so.
Yeah. So, and this can, if you're playing it at home, you can play it just on a keyboard or keyboard and mice combined. It tries to sort of accept anything people might want to use. And this game was, I did the art and game design, and the programming is by Andrew, who was my partner starting Spooky Squid Games, and did a lot of the programming on earlier stuff that we did. So this is the only of the jam games that he worked on. So we each tag in. Let me get my sound.
And 3.
And this is very much designed for events, so people can drop in at any time. Before we get into this, we'll just do a match where people learn how to play. You basically go along that wind track automatically. But then you can raise and sink to get yourself into different wind tunnels.
So wait, how do you...
So if you hold the button, you'll sink.
Okay.
Okay.
Is there a way to raise?
Double tapping will squirt out some ink and raise you up. If you... Oh, And if you splat people with ink, they'll get sort of stunned for a little bit. The goal of this is to collect the pollen, which you can see yellow has some pollen and green has some pollen. And the way you can get them to drop their pollen is by either bashing into them or hitting them with ink.
If you drop onto someone, do they drop their pollen?
Only if you splat them with the ink.
Okay.
And you can run out of ink. If you notice that your like little pod at the bottom is empty, like Pink's is right now, Pink would want to get down quickly and refill with ink from the pool at the bottom.
Oh, that's interesting. And there's kind of like it's slow to refill.
It's slow to get down to the bottom, and you're also in the most vulnerable spot because somebody can just splat you.
I see.
Because you're not moving.
But there's that sort of little animation of dipping into the ink and out again, and that's someone in the chat is suggesting playing this on a DDR pad.
Yeah, with Joy to Key that would be possible. So the way that the wind stuff is done in this is it's actually using a hidden image with a red and green channel, the amount of red and the amount of green to determine
that's a good way of
up and down. So I basically edited a bunch in Photoshop, dumped it into the game. I had like a wind tunnel that I could do that just spawned particles and let me see where they were flowing.
Nice.
So the wind that you see there is purely cosmetic.
How many stages are there? Different like arenas?
This is the one because it's sort of has the right balance of like interesting spots, a lot of horizontal movement, which is what you want. So it's a 3-minute match. So the match is about to end, and then we can have a real game now that everyone sort of understands how to move around. Are there any questions?
No.
So Pink is about to win right now. Generally, whoever's winning will have like an extra glow around them, as well as you'll see all of that pollen.
That's cute. That's cute.
Okay.
Does the one button also end the match?
yeah, it's on your controller.
Sorry.
So it's just whoever has pollen at the end, or do you get a bonus for holding? It's whoever has it at the end, so you can do quick turnarounds at the end. If you time it at the right time, you can suddenly swap things around. We didn't want it to ever be a situation when one person was for sure going to be the winner at the end.
So
you want to have those quick turnarounds. So the time that you're holding the pollen doesn't matter.
can you tell how much ink you have?
Yeah, it's generally just like the amount of ink that you see in your little thing. So when you're low, like that yellow is low there, and just has a teeny bit. So that bit where you're coming down at on the side is a real danger area.
Yeah.
You want to get through it as fast as possible, or skip it by lowering yourself down and staying in another area. Right now, yellow's in the lead. Who's yellow?
Me.
The tricky thing is also when you knock pollen loose, that doesn't mean you're necessarily going to be the one who grabs it.
Yep.
Even match. And pollen just sort of appears over time during the match.
A thing that I'm noticing is that like kind of like preemptively boosting is almost a good way of shielding yourself.
Yeah, no. Just getting yourself like into areas that are safer, away from the other players.
Is there a time?
It's the moon going across the top.
Oh wow, that's subtle.
Yeah, no, possibly too subtle.
If only it had a big number in it.
There are some like sound warnings also.
Wait, I forgot what color I am. Okay, I think I'm green.
You can also tell because on your controller it'll show you the number.
Yes, but the number's not on the balloon.
It's on the top right.
Oh yeah, there we go.
And also like what bit of will be highlighted on
Definitely am
an
green.
Xbox controller.
Oh, Oh, okay. So you don't actually have to release a drop of ink to go up. I was curious about that because I'd always had ink, but you can do the quick up even if you just don't drop a drop.
Yeah.
And there's kind of no reason not to like intentionally sink when you're going down on the left.
Yeah, you kind of want to just like speed down. It's more about often avoiding that area entirely because it's such a dangerous area to be. Okay, there's the warning that we're about to end. Everyone getting up on pink. Oh. Oh no, you're gonna grab those. No, I'm gonna grab Oh no, no, no! Just need to get out of everyone's way. No one has ink,
I
I'm
lost
safe.
everything.
Oh no, no, yellow got it. Ah!
I had 2 for most of the match and then nothing.
One more match and then
Yeah, sure.
you
I
can see
really
like,
like this game, honestly.
This is really good. The only concern I've got is it's kind of like
Someone needs to press to go in.
maybe
Player 1 is
One.
not in.
I think is one pair.
that's Parrish. Yeah, Parrish you need to tag in.
Oh, I see.
It almost feels like maybe the matches are a little longer than they need to be. Just because, like,
Yeah.
almost everything important happens in, like, toward the end. And I was actually, like, last round I was actually kind of intentionally not picking up pollen for a big chunk of it just because, like, that just makes me a target.
I can't remember, there's like a percentage that you lose from being bashed versus being splatted.
Huh.
So there is sort of like, if you have enough of it, you can withstand several hits. And still make it through. Oh yeah, there is also an ink thing on the UI that you can use.
Okay, so if you zoom up into someone who's bashing you, it seems like you don't lose anything. But if you zoom up into ink, you do lose.
Zooming up into someone back like knocks stuff off of them, the person who's being bashed into.
But the ink blocks that. So if
Yeah.
you have ink,
So yeah,
if
you can
think
use
someone's
ink.
about to go into you,
You can totally use
Drop
ink
the ink.
defensively. Like we tried to basically have as much sort of like interesting kind of interactions that you could get between the balloons while not actually having full control over their movement. What is surprising is like once you get used to the airflow, you really can sort of like intentionally move yourself around.
I find
I'm
it
hanging out
much-
in this corner.
I find it much easier to take people's pollen than I do to collect any pollen myself.
It's interesting how oh, huh.
You can really get those ink going at a bizarre angle if you've been knocked and
Yeah.
then you fire.
No, you can time that when on your swing to deliberately hit someone sideways. So I'm trying to sort of take a defensive position. I'm blue and I'm up in the right corner trying to take a defensive position from everyone. But every once in a while I need to still go down and get more ink.
It's interesting how
So you can't just sort of like camp and drop ink because you'll run out.
No.
Oh no, pink. Yes! Stay away from everyone and I'll win.
this is really interesting.
The special guest is Parrish, who's come so that we could do the 4-player games, and he did some early work on Russian Subway Dogs, our current game.
One more.
One more? Okay.
Yes.
One more.
It's as bad as I am at this, I like the balance in terms of like being above someone with ink is more powerful position, but
Plug yourself in.
because you never run out of up, being below someone without ink is better.
Yeah. No, and like the ink would be OP if you didn't run out of it, because you could just hang out around
Yeah.
the top. But since you'll eventually run out, you're going to have to make that descent into the more vulnerable lower area. Oh, it's
Wait.
warning you that it's going to kick you.
Oh, because yeah,
It's a public events game, so it
that makes sense.
allows people to drop in, but it also will just kick players who aren't interacting with the game. That's also why it has the instructions running along the side.
I actually thought that was really good.
That way, spectators can learn how to play while they're waiting.
My experience is that if you have a screen that explains how you play a game, no, I will never pay attention to one of those screens during the game. I like how this, like, in certain ways feels like an artifact at a time when we all still trusted steampunk.
Well, it has a lot. It's steampunk, but also has a lot of Art Nouveau, which I just really like as an art style.
No, it's good. This is very stylish.
If you,
What was
if you
this
want to
made?
stay happy with Art
This
Nouveau,
is Game Maker.
don't find out about the politics of any Art Nouveau artists either.
Yeah.
And I've got some bad news about the British modern poets.
Let me tell you about ancient Greece.
Oh.
Gotta get pink.
Man,
No!
if I had a nickel.
That wasn't pink! That was me!
You were close to pink. That's what you get for fraternizing with pink. Oh shit, I need... Yeah, that
Need
long
to get
straightaway
bonked.
is such a dangerous area because you can get bonked from the people below you and bombed on, and you're like in one sort of like horizontal position for a while, which is never a good thing.
Oh no!
Yeah, Miguel, I don't actually... I feel like... I don't know if I agree with the thing where
Where what?
you can just keep doing the double jump even when you don't have ink. I
It's
feel like that
very
might be a
powerful,
mistake.
but also it's... I'm really intrigued by the idea that, like... Oh!
Yellow
is that?
wins!
Did I have any?
Okay.
If I did, it would be the first time I ended with any.
What's really interesting to me is, like, the idea that you could maybe win with, like, a really small amount of pollen. Like, if you have... In the last moment, if everyone is sufficiently jostling each other, and
I
one
feel like that
person just has
happens.
3...
Yeah.
Like, if you have just 3 and, like, no one's gonna actually, like, be aggressive toward you. But also, everyone else will lose their stuff.
If it were not an event game and you were expecting it to be multiple rounds of the same person, I think it would be neat to have it put you into the new level in order based on how well you did, because there's a slight advantage to being
Yeah.
in first. At least there would be if the level were shorter.
Yeah, because the level is
Yeah.
3 minutes, that's long enough that any sort of advantage disappears
Yeah.
pretty quickly.
And I do feel like stuff that happens in the first minute is like a little bit inconsequential, which is...
Yeah. So
Which
2
is
minutes
good in an
might-
event game because
Yeah.
you
Oh,
want
yeah,
people to
yeah.
learn how to
That
play.
is true.
Yeah.
But yeah, as sort of a home game, it might be better to have shorter rounds.
It's good
This
to...
is definitely things that I would perhaps modify for the esports version.
Yes.
As a
You
casual...
won by
When we
most
take this to
sports.
Evo.
As a casual thing, it's kind of nice. There's a part of the game where you're just kind of like dipping around and you're not really paying
Yeah,
attention to
yeah.
what you're doing. And then there's a part where it's like suddenly serious time.
It's got the like practice round built into the main round.
Yeah.
I also really like. I don't know. I like the choice of music for the hurry up, please, it's time.
I can't remember where we found that stuff. Like a lot of this is like freesounds.org
Yeah.
and such.
Okay, so what are we playing next?
We are going to play. Let me just make sure I paste where people can get this one.
Ah, yes.
So this is the Night Balloonist. So it doesn't run on Mac, but it does run on PC. And you do not need to have 4 controllers to play with 4 players.
Yeah, you can play on one keyboard. That's
Yeah.
I think the first way I played it.
So that's where the free download for that one is. So next we're going to play one that does not have a download because it has never been released and has only been shown at events. So do you want to switch it off there and I will switch stuff off here?
Yeah,
'cause
sure.
This takes a few different setting changes. I think we want this perspective.
Hey, Miguel, what's the key to quit?
Escape.
Because it wasn't Alt F4.
And I will change the game to Black Church. I may have the spelling wrong on this. Surprisingly, I don't spell the word brigandage many times.
Doesn't come up in casual.
No. It's weird that way. Okay, and yeah, it looks like we've got it lined up correctly. So this was created as part of the first Comics versus Games project and was sort of a last minute thing. The artist on it is Andy Bellinger, who's a comic artist, and he was teamed up with another game dev who had to quit last minute. And so I came in and made this game in like a weekend and a few days, which weirdly turned out to be pretty fun, I think.
It turned out to be great. I love this.
So I think the way we're set up should be that we'll be on one team and they'll be on one team.
Sensible.
Wait, are you 4?
Yes.
Should we just trade to make it less complicated?
We'll see how it. We'll see whether it actually. Oh, whoops! We did a 2-player game. Who's playing? I think.
It's me.
Okay, so.
If I throw myself in the fire, will that make this be over quick then?
No, you can't die. Basically, you are playing barbarian parents of the Antichrist, who is the ball in this game of basketball, and the Black Church. It's all based on this comic, Black Church, by Andy Bellinger. However, I took some very serious liberties. So the church is trying to sacrifice the baby, and the parents are trying to save it. And you can sort of see the save, kill.
So your controls are it's A to jump. You can. Oh fuck.
Is the sound working okay with this?
Yeah.
I haven't been hearing sound. Oh, there we go. So
And
when
you
this
can
match
press B to slash.
and
if you
damage
don't
just
have
slows you
anything.
down. So you just get
It
basically...
makes you lose whatever you're holding.
Yeah. Woo! And the colored balls are various power-ups.
Also, we should just hurry up and finish this so we
Yeah.
can.
So
Do
we
a
can have a more
proper-
fun thing.
Yeah.
Here, I'll just. Do we know what the score is to? I'll just let you.
Yeah, I'll
start in
just
a couple
finish
times.
that. I think it's just first 3.
That's the traditional sports number.
You murdered a baby.
Definitely, it doesn't work quite well with 1v1, but like 2-on-2, this is great.
Okay.
You mean you didn't have time in that weekend to add AI for a second player on each side?
I have to get my sound right. Which one is the one that has sound? There's the one. Okay, I'm the mom. Oh no, someone already got the...
Explode.
So what would cause someone to drop the baby?
being
Hit
hit.
them. So you have an attack with B if you don't have anything in your hands.
Oh no, I had super throw and didn't realize it.
I really hope.
No!
So much explosion. Oh.
Okay, so Andy, we want to score it on the left.
Okay. I was previously.
Like
Yeah,
Woo!
like that.
I murdered a baby.
It's fine. It was round 2.
So what determines whether you start the level holding an explosive?
I think just whether you're an even or odd numbered player.
Okay.
Oh, lost my super attack. That was handy. And I believe there's no friendly fire.
No.
Yeah, I was afraid of that. Yeah, that seems to be the case.
Do you walk slower when you're carrying
Yes.
the baby?
Yes.
You do.
Yeah, you walk slower when you're carrying the baby, which encourages passing, which we're
Yeah.
not really doing.
I
Nope.
just passed to you. I did it that one time.
Church is kicking our ass.
Well, they
What's
do
up
have
with the
God, the devil on their side. They got someone on their side.
1+?
Oh, almost
Nice!
instantly scored.
Can people actually like? Is this readable on the stream? Like,
Yeah, I
you
don't
actually-
know.
Yeah.
Should we like zoom in or something?
Are we real small? Because we're pretty small to us.
Yeah. This game was also designed to be played on a large TV. Or like very close to a monitor.
Okay. Throw it over here.
Oh, that would have been really smart.
Yeah, no, don't throw it. Long throw. No, bounced. Why is the baby so bouncy? Why did I code it that way?
Because it's hilarious.
Fair.
Oh, so close.
I like the little like mass, lots of. So, is it actually like? That's interesting. That like passing, self-passing is actually kind of a workable strategy.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
totally.
definitely.
No.
So you need to be on this, on one particular step in order to score. It's this one.
Okay.
Unless you have the super.
Threw it the wrong way.
the super
oh
throw.
no.
I was trying to disorient them.
Yeah.
It was a strategy. Ah.
No. Okay. Rematch.
The church is so much better at this.
Well, they're in the name. I feel like that's an advantage. It's like they're supposed to win.
Also, I really like using the barrels to like make the baby go flying.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice.
No, you should get some interesting like advanced barrel scores that may or may not be intentional.
Whoa! What? So wait, if you get the power-ups, does anything cause you to lose them?
Time.
Yeah, they just disappear over time.
Okay, and I fell off into one of the
Oh no.
Oh, I was
Sorry, that was my bad.
I was gonna do a thing.
I fell out of bounds. What exactly happens then? Does it spawn me back at the
It'll
center?
spawn you back. Yeah.
Is there like a penalty, or is that like an actual convenient way of quick
I
travel?
think it's a convenient way.
Okay.
I don't know how useful it is overall. This baby will also respawn if nobody picks it up.
Sensible.
Oh,
no! Very close.
No, that was the other.
Yeah, it was almost an inadvertent self.
Yeah, but I was still. I
I
thought
mean, it still would have been funny.
I was ready to be impressed.
No,
Once again.
yes!
Yep. Here, I'm forward.
Own
Throwing
baby
it.
goal.
Oh,
Bouncing it. Oh, no!
shit! Intercepted.
Well, that one's an own baby sacrifice.
Ah.
I feel like it would be nice if like
So many barrels.
Hang on. Let's get some more barrels.
Maybe not enough.
Christine thinks that maybe we could use some more barrels.
No!
Having
All
an
right.
attack and throw has tripped me up a few times where I pick it up and immediately throw it.
Yeah.
I feel like this is actually really good. I feel like the one problem with this is that like
There are like some serious readability issues because this was
That's the
using
problem.
pre-existing art that Andy had done. So I wasn't able to give him directions about like how to make things clear for teams.
let's see. I wish that there was like more passing happening in this. Like I feel like if the characters that aren't carrying moved faster, then like maybe
Oops.
team
Sorry.
passing would be a more practical.
Well, they do. Like if you're carrying a baby, you move much slower.
Maybe a certain amount of the old console soccer games where there's a certain amount of sticky, where it like sort of curves towards your teammate if you throw it generally in their direction.
I
Yeah,
just
no,
feel
that-
like I don't. When I get the baby, my teammate is usually not able to get ahead of me very well.
Oh.
That is part of it. Is like we're not playing optimally.
Yeah,
Like, we
it's
should
been
be
a while.
Partly
spreading
we're
out
just
more.
bad, especially me. throw the baby to the other team a lot. So we ended up in a 1v1. I assume that was a mistake.
Yeah, it was a mistake. In 1v1, barrels can sometimes be more important because you can actually use them kind of strategically.
Like a teammate.
Really aggressive barrel. Okay, I wanna... There's something really important that you can do if you have super jump. Damn it, lost it.
I also had super jump.
There's another super... Oh no, it's run.
No, that's attack.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was wrong about which player you were. The big barrel.
No, it's too large. No one should have that power.
No one person should have so much barrel.
Except me.
Thanks, Hot Rob.
Oh,
Miguel, where'd the baby go?
Out of bounds.
It flew out of bounds too quickly.
Yeah, well, that's why I think having it respawn if it's not being held was probably a really smart decision for a weekend game.
Yeah, especially where there is physics that I don't have complete control over.
Who did the music?
Its music is Ricky Lima. Sound is, I remember the name of his production company, which I don't think is around anymore. Dark Productions. And there's actually a better version of this that was put out when the comic was released, where they remastered.
Yes,
the music.
I'm gonna do it.
You're gonna have to do it quick. Yes.
Oh!
What? What? Did you patch something?
You have to throw it while you're in the pit, I think.
I thought that worked,
I
but
thought-
I guess
yeah.
not. Huh.
I think if you're actually
I've
still
totally
holding
done
it-
that a lot.
Oh, okay. I thought you had to throw it so you became two separate entities.
This
while
may
you
be an
were in
older
the-
version or a newer version. I'm not sure which. Okay.
Did you
2v2.
patch my pro strat?
I may have.
Okay, Christine. If either of us gets the baby, we need to, like, the other one should just immediately run ahead, like I'm failing to do right now.
Okay, get on that.
So do you want to do defense and I'll do offense?
Sure.
It's a good thing that this baby has, like,
It's the
protective
Antichrist.
shield.
It's tough.
Can only be destroyed by fire.
It's like the Ring of Mordor. It's like you can only destroy it at 7,000 degrees.
No.
Conventional explosives are not sufficient. You
This
need
baby
like
cannot
I'll
be
do
killed by
defensive
conventional
offense.
means.
you need a sustained burn.
Oh, somebody tried to launch me into the fiery pit.
I love the goofy baby bounce. Hey, what determines if you can like shoot beams?
That's
That's
attack
one of the
plus.
power-ups. It's if you've got the red glow.
But you lose it really quickly, don't you?
Pretty quickly.
I thought I was you.
Okay. What was that?
Oh,
That
It
was
started
super jump.
flickering.
Super jump. Oh, you were about to lose super jump. It flashes before you lose it, I think.
Did exactly one controller just start vibrating for a bit?
I think mine did.
we are just nuts.
No, I told
Yeah,
you I
should we
wasn't very
scramble
good
these?
at this.
I told you I'm
Scramble these
extremely
teams?
good at this.
Should we scramble these teams? Like, should I switch places with Parrish?
Maybe.
Sure.
Okay.
Well, now you will see that it was in fact me that was causing you to
We're
lose.
just gonna swap. Oh
I
no.
think swapping.
Oh yes,
No?
you said places
Oh.
rather than controllers, so I thought you meant
Yeah.
literal places.
I meant in like a conceptual
Okay.
sense. Okay, who am I?
Okay.
I'm
So,
free. Okay.
I don't have a strategy here.
Okay.
Wait, no. Go right. Whoa.
I definitely feel like I was better at this when I was making this.
Miguel, I feel like I think I've actually noticed a bug. Is there somewhere I can report bugs for this game?
I put it.
Yes, it
in
will
the
do
optimal
nothing.
place, but it. Oh, yes. There we go. Where am I?
There I am.
Nice. What just happened there?
I don't know. I just stood near where I thought I should be and hit
I
B.
knocked the baby out of his hands and into the pit. I don't know if that counts as an own goal or not.
Over.
Alright, I'll run interference. Oh. I will not run interference.
Good try.
I'll interfere with the running. I threw the baby into a brick. I will hide my baby in this wall.
I'm starting to remember that a big trick is like understanding where you can throw the baby so it'll bounce off of.
God.
Yes. Okay.
So moving is so
Yeah, I don't remember the trick shots at all.
moving is so slow in this. I literally just like I'm
It's because you're damaged. Whenever you're damaged, you move
Yeah,
really slow.
when you're gray.
So if you've been hit by
Okay.
a bomb or if somebody's hit you a bunch with the stuff, you'll go darker and you'll move slower.
But everyone was fighting in the corner. I'm like, maybe I'll just stand here on the like perfect platform and like.
Yeah, it's a good blocking spot if you don't get knocked off
Yep.
by a barrel.
Well, I just stood there and the baby just literally.
Oh!
Yes! The baby literally fell into my arms.
And then I tried to kill it. No, wait, you're trying to save it. You're on my team now.
Well,
Team
you know,
baby save.
that's what being a parent's like. Sometimes you don't know if you're trying to save your baby or kill it.
Alright. No.
I did not mean that to happen. That I did mean to happen.
I don't know what to think about like the moments where like all four players are in like a 10-pixel distance and just like whacking swords at each other.
Yeah, I wonder if like what may have worked for that would be something where like after you're damaged a lot, you get a much higher kickback, so people would get separated.
Oh, I thought that was me.
Did you ever play ice hockey for the original NES?
I did. I think.
I played more
Wait,
Blades
could you?
of Steel.
I was gonna say, which one could you punch people?
Okay.
Is that Blades of Steel?
Get
I
my
think that was
skills
Blades
back.
of
It
Steel.
might have been both of them.
No, you just don't have me dragging you down.
It really is, the high ground is so much more useful because it's a bit hard to get to and you can do throws that get it far.
Yep.
Whereas the low ground, you're dealing with other people.
It's a lot easier to move vertically than horizontally though. I wish it was possible to tell by looking at my character if I was damaged or not.
You're gray
It's how
when you're
dark
damaged.
you are, but it's
Yeah.
not like, this is again
Yeah.
where like I was
If you're-
working with
If you're alone,
assets that were not designed for this game specifically.
Yeah, usually you can't really see your character because other stuff's on top.
yeah, I
of
was gonna
it.
say, if you're alone on one side of the screen, you can tell if you're damaged, but that's not the time you need to know if you're damaged.
And you can tell by looking at the you can tell by looking at your portrait, but if you look away from the game for a
That
moment,
seems
you're gonna die.
unwise.
It's
No, you fell down.
Hey, Miguel, try to if one of us is
It was at least
Yes.
closer this time.
yeah.
One more round and then
Yeah, sure.
So the reason this isn't out is mostly because it is designed to only work if there are 4 controllers plugged in. There's no keyboard support. There's no support
Wow.
for just
Fast.
2 controllers, even though there's a 2-player mode. was programmed extremely quickly with features above anything else because it needed to be shot.
oh wild.
Do you have the edge made so that it always bounces back? Or was that just...
That's just having the wall there means that you really do need to get it directly in. You can't just like throw in the general direction. If you throw too close, it'll bounce off.
Nice.
Damn.
Woo!
Throw
Nice shot.
throw
Yeah,
plus,
we're starting to get the
MVP.
skills.
I didn't even see it go in.
Whoa. Nice.
Pass.
That's
pass.
That time I thought it had gone in, but it was a barrel.
We should start if one of us has the baby, like the other one runs ahead.
Yeah. The trick is it's so quick often, the trade-off. Oh no.
I got it across the other side at least. Oh, shit.
Oh!
Basically, there's that one tile that if you know if the other team gets there,
Yeah.
they've basically got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there.
It's that one.
That one there.
Basically,
Okay, so
Which is,
whoever
like,
doesn't have
interesting.
perish wins.
So I just want to note that I scored all 3 of those points.
Good work.
Nicely
Thank you.
done.
Thank you.
I mean, I do feel like it's actually like, I know you didn't design that, but it's interesting that like there's basically one, like normally there's one place where you can be and score. Like it's that, like the middle left or middle rightmost.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was kind of by design. Like, that was sort of where I placed it. And
Yeah.
And like it's very accessible from both like the top row and the bottom, and like if you get a power up that changes, but otherwise it's like you have to get into this one place.
But it's
or
also
the other way that you can do it is if you go to the top ones on the side and do a jumping throw, which is harder to pull off and get the timing right. You can also get it in from that. And I think you can also get it in from the lower one if you throw it just at the very top of your jump, but that's also a really hard throw
Or
to get.
or if you have the
That's
jump,
interesting.
jump
I mean, I
power.
feel like honestly, like that might be like something to patch out. Like if you know you were like really serious about this, because I do feel like fighting for that one position.
But like
Makes
The
it
thing
really
is that the
interesting.
other two are harder to do. So it gives you like, it means at that point doesn't become a complete choke point, but it's kind of like a skill choke point.
But it could be
Yeah.
right, which I feel like that's honestly like a little bit less interesting, just because like if that's something that you can just like get good at, then that's less interesting than like getting strategically into that position.
Yeah.
You could make the if you were patching it, you could make the top, like you could keep it so that the top one can give you a running throw, but also make it move slightly back and forth, so it can only give you a running throw sometimes.
Yeah, no, like, this definitely could have a whole bunch more levels design.
Yeah.
This was basically a, like, as I said, it was
No.
basically a last minute thing done in less than a week.
For a weekend, this
One
level
thing-
works very well.
one thing I do like is that like because we all understand the level, everyone knows that that platform is the dangerous zone. So
Yeah.
like instead of keep them from throwing it, it becomes keep them from standing on this platform, which is
Yeah.
really interesting.
And you can still, like, especially if you're being attacked, you can totally mess up that.
Oh yeah, you can't just stand there and be sure you'll be able to stand there and block it, because the barrels will throw you all over the place, and you can only attack in one direction, and there are 2 people coming.
Yeah.
Final round?
Sure.
Sure.
Wait, am I player 1? The power is incredible. I wish that you could use the D-pad.
About to run,
Guarding.
which actually makes me move so fast that...
Explode! Oh
No!
Just outside
No!
the radius. Oh, that
Damn it!
That explosion should have blocked it.
You know how well this works as a defensive position?
Worth a shot.
Oh, I'd forgotten about something.
What?
Attacking also lowers your... If you spam attack too much, you move slower also.
Huh.
So not just always attacking can get you a speed up as well. Oh, damn. Okay, not good.
I mean, I wasn't gonna say anything. No shit. I forget. Can you have multiple power-ups?
I think you trade off. So you've got to be careful about
Damn.
which one you grab. I think that was my solution.
It's a good.
Oh, nice
I'm much
throw.
better.
Yeah.
I'm much better at defense than offense.
I
I'm
really
still
like
not
the
that
throw
good,
plus.
Match point.
Oh, I was hoping it would help.
So good, so good. Oh,
Did you just intentionally throw away?
No shit. I did not want to tack up. Ugh. I feel like attack up is like the jerk move, honestly.
it's madness.
You know what this game needs is like an exciting.
More
Damn it.
bombs. That was actually a close one.
Yeah.
I'm getting a little better.
With What this game needs is like an excitedly yelling announcer. Like you need like an actual human with a microphone, like narrating everything that happens.
And
Yeah.
I don't think
I
we
mean,
ever did that in any
probably an
Toronto events. We
angry
did that with
Scandinavian
Midhog,
accent.
Toronto events back in
Oh,
the day.
nice.
And the baby is in the fire.
Okay, one more match.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or just like I'm also like starting to remember strats. Which like anytime you manage to make a jam game, there are strats to remember.
Yep.
There's a strat achieved.
More than one strat.
I believe in you.
Get over here.
Okay. I thought I was more used to defending that one spot. Also, I can't get over here because I keep getting blown up.
I'm noticing that if you've got the
It's up to
baby,
you, go
like,
for it.
Jumping a lot is
Woo!
actually.
Oh yeah, no, it's totally jumping, getting up high. Are
Yep.
both-
I just mean that like when you're jumping, you move like really erratically. So it's like in your interest to be like just spamming jumps so that it's harder for people to hit you.
Oh no!
Scale.
I did not high five because me and a bomb helped you out. High five the bomb if you want to high five anyone.
High five.
I'm realizing you can use explosions to get yourself across the level.
Oh yeah, for
quickly.
sure.
Yeah,
The
that is
strat
true.
we never got into.
But then you're damaged, so it's a trade-off.
Yeah, no, you'll be slow when you get there.
Yeah, but also it's hilarious.
Go, go, go.
Yes!
Oh!
Nice shot.
That yellow throw power up
Yeah.
right there. Yeah, a lot of the platforms are positioned so specific. Like, you know if you have the throw power up, you can do it from middle field with the right jump. That
Nice.
was
I
fast.
do feel
Yeah.
like there's some kind of a bug where just occasionally one of the controllers will vibrate wildly for like 3 seconds.
I can't remember what causes.
Is it not being blown out?
vibrations.
Maybe.
I think it's getting blown up.
Yeah, because it happened to me a lot, and I get blown up a lot.
Okay, well there you go.
There are a lot of explosions.
This was really good.
This last round that we won, I was just trying to get to the other side and constantly being blown back by explosions.
No.
Yeah, but it's funny, so it's okay.
Oh yeah, yeah.
At
It's
some point,
fair.
I really need to sit down, open up a very old version of Game Maker, and put in proper control stuff. It's just like the thing that is like a pain every time you make a local multiplayer game that has to be playable on keyboard is that all keyboards have different keys that cannot be pressed at the same time, and they're different on every keyboard.
Yeah.
So you basically have to put in key configurations of some sort.
Which is very difficult and time consuming.
Yeah, no, it's a pain, and like I now have kind of a standard thing for that, but I still need to work on it more.
It explains why a lot of old PC games have Control and Shift and Alt as their controls.
Yes.
Because they're the
those are
ones
the
you
only
can't
ones
count
that
on.
are.
You always count
Yeah, no, I
on.
always wondered
Yeah.
why. I was like, those aren't actually that convenient to press, and I'm like, oh yeah, Control, Shift, Alt, and Space are all guaranteed to not interfere with each other.
And now all of a sudden you've activated sticky keys.
Yep.
Okay, so next, if we want to continue with competitive sports, we could throw Blobber Basher on.
Sure. I haven't played this one.
This is a
This
very
is a 1v1, right?
yeah. This is a 1v1. I want to make a 4 version, but I think it might be a little bit too fast paced. What is it? That one, or is it this one? Okay, there we go.
And there's is
hit-
it full screen?
Hit Alt and Enter. There we go. So this one is myself doing the coding and Alina Sechkin, Spooky Squid's other artist, doing all of the art.
What is this from?
This is from the last 2 years. It was like not
Yeah,
the
it's
last
pretty
Toe
recent.
Jam, but I think the Toe Jam before that.
Okay.
I need to change the name to another name that will not be recognized by...
This is not in the.
Oh, I just saw the
Squid
squid
database?
anniversary is a giant squid emoji that didn't show up here.
It showed up as like 5 different segments, which is pretty cute.
So this one definitely does not have as much tactical depth. I sort of describe it as Hungry Hungry Hippos meets soccer, except the ball is also alive and has feelings.
And this is just 2-player, right?
Yeah, it's just 2-player. So we can trade off taking turns doing matches. It does have a bunch of stages.
I still think this concept could be expanded
Oh,
with
yeah.
a lot of good stuff.
Um,
Like at the moment, the ball can only become angry at you. I think it would be neat if it could like fall in love with you and follow you around, which makes it easier to get it, but harder to get it to go into as a goal.
there's a thing where it does follow people. I didn't think of making it actually being in love but dangerous, which would be an interesting way of putting it. So this one was programmed using Box 2D in Game Maker, which is an entirely different physics system, which is powerful but also really hard to tune. Which is why it ended up kind of...
I definitely learned that when we worked on
Twitch's Coven.
yeah.
Doing pinball. It's really powerful, but I haven't figured out how to tune it. I know some people who tune stuff doing Box 2D games actually have like a MIDI controller with a bunch of dials that they can just mess around with to try different
In
variables.
general, I really understand like that kind of setup for like really like fine
Yeah.
dynamics driven stuff.
So, okay, so we're on opposite sides. I'm green. So you've got a bash, and you've got the blob, which is the thing. You're just trying to get it into the goal on the other team, which you notice still has a tongue, and there's actually eyes that are going to show our scores.
I like.
Oh no, it's angry. So when it's angry, it's a lot riskier to try to bash. But it'll also bash through these goalie blocks. And there are power-ups. I've got Mega Bash.
I really like the.
No, it's too powerful.
I really like the movement. What happens if you knock ice into the goal? Nothing.
It'll just sort of get stuck in the way. So yeah, you can see there's an eye open now. When my monster's fully awake, it'll eat me, and I'll lose.
Oh, it's like anti-Nidhogg.
We're weirdly don't want to be eaten.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah. What's the deal with that?
So one tactic you can do is move the ice blocks to be a goalie. Oh, you've got speed.
It's too fast. Miguel, make it slow down.
Okay, if you get that, it will now target me, which I can actually use to my advantage. By
yes.
hanging around the goal. Oh no. Get that. Oh, whoa, wow, I am fast. Again,
Cannot be contained.
the hungry hippos aspect of this.
This game definitely has a pretty high frame rate.
Is the stream having trouble?
It might be having trouble keeping up, seeing how fast this very large ball is moving.
I doubt that's actually.
Is this representative of the stream, or is this
No.
what it's?
At the very bottom, is it green or red? The little box.
Green.
Okay. Is there any sort of warning message?
No.
Okay, yeah, it's just probably.
It might be dropping frames because it says 30 FPS here, but it's saying that it's streaming solid.
So sort of a phases that a match goes through. There's first a period where all of the blocks are there, and so you've got a lot of stuff getting in the way, and eventually, as you've angered it enough times. Woo!
I liked the fact that you didn't restrict yourself to just different places on the left and right wall for the goals.
Yeah, there's the moving goal pushes.
Yeah.
Oh, and then I got sucked away. You can see they also have like happy and sad faces, which came from us really liking the faces in snipper clips, and wanted to try to do a little bit of that. Do you folks want to have a go?
Sure.
So just move and bash.
Sorry, remember you were saying that one of your
Oh,
goals
geez.
was this was like mix up the roles in the game.
Yeah. So it's sort of a this is so
Wow.
now you get Mega Bash and you can clear
God.
the level.
Oh.
So it's sort of a gimmick level. Mega Bash lets
That's
you
funny.
smash bricks.
Yeah.
Bashing the other player seems to be actually a really good strat now.
When you've got Mega Bash, yeah.
Okay. The green one just looks so happy all the time.
Yeah, everyone starts out angry. It only looks happy but wins.
Yeah, sort of Alina kind of like drove the arc, which normally when in our main games, I'm sort of the art director. And originally the idea was that going to be that she would also be doing more of the game design, but as is often the case with game jams, you start to just like add things because you need to, because the game's broken in a weird way and this is the fast thing you can do. So like originally there was none of these blocks, but I realized it was just too easy to score early on and
Yeah.
matches were going too quickly.
That was fun.
So having sort of something that acted like a goalie in two-player.
I'm intrigued by the discovery that you can.
Good show. Good show.
Wait, that's not it though, right?
No, that's it. You
That's
oh, I got 3 eyes.
You
I got
already-
sucked in, and so did you.
Got 8.
The eyes
Have
have
another
it.
go.
More-
Have
more
another.
Yeah.
Or I guess we could
Well,
also.
you can
we
switch,
can do-
switch it up for
yeah.
different. Yeah.
Oh, so this one has sort of a long path around.
And I was sitting next to you when you were making this, and it definitely was one of those super came together in the last like couple of hours, where it was like it's working, but it's not having good matches, and then you added like a few things,
Ah, too fast.
and people really liked it.
One thing we didn't get in by the end of the jam, but is in now, is the angry ball. And some of the like, just how many of the
Own goal.
layouts there are. And that was done because this ended up on a cabinet, the Curious Cabinets project, which was a cocktail cabinet.
Wait.
So it went through an extra day or two of polish.
I definitely feel like the angry ball is like really necessary addition.
It is, but also, I don't know. It gets slightly purpler when it's.
Yeah, when it's getting closer. And
I wish there was more strategy on making the ball angry. Because at first I just assumed the angry ball meant like just run, but then Harris actually managed to make a goal while the ball was angry.
Yep.
you have to have
It's
really
extremely.
good timing.
Yeah, because you can
need to-
kind of draw it towards yourself when it's angry, and then deflect it. But yeah,
You can also hit it and it'll go really fast because it's angry. Steam Tunes will be having trouble again. Let me have a look at the numbers since I'm free now.
look at numbers.
Dropped frames. It's not dropping a lot of frames.
What would happen if you made this full screen? Is that not?
It is.
It is full screen. And now it's better again. I'm gonna just watch it for a little bit while they're playing and see if I can see. We are kind of not having great. Oh. We're on Wi-Fi. That's probably
What? Wow, why was this working at all? Amazing.
After this match, we might go down for a moment because I'm gonna
Shit.
switch to just. Okay, folks, we're just gonna switch to so that we're wired, so it's more consistent, which hopefully will help. We may lose the stream and have to come back. We'll see. Have we lost the stream? Are we still on the stream?
Let's keep playing.
Yep, we seem to still be on the stream.
Here.
So if you're green and you just mash the bash button, the green character makes like an adorable little face.
It's basically just taking whatever the bounce is and it's.
Blocker bully.
It means that it'll attack the other person.
Yeah. Blobbo. It's Blobbo bully. So it's gonna bully the other player. Okay, we haven't dropped in frames for a while, so it looks like we're good.
It's interesting how like making the ball angry is actually sort of a good strategy just because then it starts chasing you, so you can kind of control the movement more.
Well, especially
Chasing me right
yeah, because of the target.
Oh, it's angry at certain people.
When the power up is used, the
That's what that power does, is it makes the ball
angry at the other player.
Hey, actually, I saw the little target and I was like, I thought it meant the opposite of what it meant.
So it's sort of like when I think about party games, I think of the ones that are like sort of a scale where you've got like really deep games, which definitely Black Church is more on the deep side. Like a skilled team will beat an unskilled team most of the time.
Yeah.
And the strategy, like layers of strategies you can learn. This is much more on the other side.
It
You
has
throw a
lot
bunch of people, and there's like there's a lot of stuff that's kind of chancy. There's not a lot of pro strats to it.
But it is like good play moment to moment.
Yeah, and yeah, you can still pull off a good move, but like you could throw a bunch of people with mixed skills. And
Yeah, this one is actually, I think, although they both were on cabinets, I think it's the better cabinet.
Oh wow! You know what would have been really interesting is this on a cabinet with trackball.
yeah, no, it would actually play really interesting with trap balls.
So it doesn't go in. It doesn't want to go into the.
Oh, Alex Bethke, I think.
Hello.
I'm assuming that's Alex Bethke at
Yep.
Golden Deer Games. Yes, it is Parrish.
Local Toronto. Good night, friends.
It is
Wait.
I.
I can climb out of the gullet of the.
Not dead yet. Okay, I want to have another match with someone.
Okay.
All
I
right.
want to do a match against Miguel before we're done.
Okay. Yeah, like there's not like being shallower isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's what the audience is. Like, when you have a bunch of friends over and some of them are video game players and some of them aren't, like regular video game players, you actually don't want a super skill-based game
Right.
because people who don't play video games regularly are not gonna have fun.
Like Nidhogg, not a great party game, despite the fact that I absolutely love it.
Yeah, it's a rare game
Or-
where you can where the handicapping is good enough that you can have both.
Yeah.
And I do feel like also like there's a lot to be said for the theming of this. Like as much as I love Night Balloonists, the theming definitely like grabs less attention than this.
It's definitely it has that weird like cheap gross thing going for it.
Or even like Black Church again is like there's a lot to holler about. You know,
Yeah.
like throwing a baby into the fire is inherently like a more satisfying thing than fucking hollering. I feel like a lot of it is like it's not that Night Balloonist isn't like very friendly to like people joining in. 'Cause, like I've seen it at events.
Yeah.
It has in fact been like great for people jumping in. Like I've seen like lines up for it and like.
You can't help
Oh,
thinking,
no.
what if this ink was blood?
But no one is hollering, and I feel like that is something
Yeah.
that,
It is also because it's harder to do very quick moment-to-moment things with
Oh, yeah.
controls.
yeah,
It can be sort of more strategic in it. Like I think it actually has more depth in some ways than this does.
no, I would absolutely say so. But I think a lot of that is just like the theming of it, like just like throwing a baby into the fire is just a funny thing.
Yeah, no. It was shown at City
Quote
Hall.
that, clip that, please.
Oh.
Throwing a baby into the fire is hilarious.
So it was shown at City Hall. All of the Comics vs. Games were. And there was a request to change it into something else. So there is a version I made where it's a beach ball instead of a baby.
That's
Okay, you
amazing.
two want to play?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I assumed you just removed the fire.
I read.
Yeah, it's just a hole.
I'm using tea and green.
Probably good.
You just replace the fire with like a bunch of it's just
Oh.
children's services.
So the way that the faces are done, just stop for a second. The faces that when like you do a bash, it's just taking the bounce and switching to a specific frame and then out of it. So it's just like transferring it to a specific bit of the animation. Good way to get like some good game feel out of like limited frames, which is always an important thing when you're doing a jam game.
What would you say like one of the bigger lessons you've learned? Like you've done a lot of these jam games that have like.
Versus games are always a good idea for jam games because you don't.
I
have
mean,
to
I've
do
done that and it's still been like difficult. Like I feel like knowing how to do a jam game is like a really big skill.
I feel like it's really neat that like Toronto has all of these like public events because like if I made a multiplayer game for Jam, I'd be like, well, I can't even play the game I made.
Yeah, no, it helps to have events that you can like take something to when you do something local multiplayer.
I imagine it also just helps having 2 developers.
Yeah,
So
no.
you can be like,
Here's the thing, 2 is good, 1 is actually good. Like, Mushroom Subway Dogs was done with just me, other than the music. Whereas when I've done really large teams, I've done some of the largest teams at Pro Jam, the Toronto Indie Game Jam, and it's really hard because you have you have an organizational challenge on top of just making a game.
and that's tough enough even when you have a lot of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we've been working with multiple programmers, that especially, like,
Oh no.
That one I think we actually managed to do.
no, it's because like it works if they've worked together on projects up on it before.
Yeah.
But yeah,
We did do one where Alex was one of the, whose Golden Gear Games was one of the programmers. My old housemate Jill was one of the other one programming for the DS. We did a DS game as a jam game. And a Flash game with the same team in one weekend. And did manage to make both playable by the end.
And that was like with most of the same art assets?
Nope, different art assets.
So,
It
so
was
you're
something
just
like an
nuts
11-person team. We were just like, let's do this.
Tio Jam sounds kind of nuts.
It's fun. I like it a lot. I'm sad that like I had to stop for a good chunk of time because of just having to get work done on those weekends.
But I feel like when you're doing like multiplayer games, like you really need to have someone like in the room to help you iterate.
Yeah.
Would you say?
Yeah, no, it's hard to do it alone. When I've done it alone, it has not turned out as good because I'm testing against myself, which is a lot harder to do.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of it is like come up with an idea that the worst version of it will still be fun. So like we had a whole bunch of things we wanted to add to this, but we knew that like soccer works. If we could get soccer, we would have a fun game.
Yeah.
Is this game play? What do you think this game could work with 4 players?
I think the intention was to do it with 4 players. I don't know if I'd put in as many blocks. I'd probably do different configurations.
I see.
I think you'd have to tune down a number of things
The
in terms of
movement
like
speed
how,
might have to be
how
slower.
or how
Yeah.
quickly you can mash.
It definitely feels like because like you can get to the other person really quickly, which is not what you want in a game. That's like
It would be interesting. One
With
thing that
4
would be
players.
possible with 2 players is you could actually kind of like shuttle it like a hockey puck. Like if, but then
I
like,
think there would be interesting
but then that would be a
tactics.
problem because like the screen's almost too small for that tactic to be non-annoying.
I think slowing it down a bit and maybe adding another ball would help a lot.
Oh god.
I think
Yes,
something
more
I might
chaos.
think about is like
That's what it needs.
have one player on one side and the other player on the other side, and like you just like can't cross the line, so like you'd be forced to have to pass it.
Yeah, that might be
Yeah,
interesting.
that would be yeah.
It also would be if you, especially if it was on a bigger screen, it might be interesting to have 2 balls that have different properties, like they behave differently somehow.
Yeah.
There definitely is a game that does that Alina found after we did this. It was kind of similar to this, and I can't remember the name of it right now, but like a classic SNES game
Huh.
Okay.
where it had walls, so you had to do stuff where like you'd work
That's
together with
interesting.
the team,
Oh.
other team person who's across a wall. I like really the thing I'd have to do is just throw in 2 more players, have some friends over, and play test and tune. Like that's the only way to really know.
A stickier, more mucusy ball.
I'm thinking a little bit playing this game called Sport by Michael Bro that I don't even know if I can actually describe. So.
Always a good sign.
That
Always
definitely
also
sounds like a
sign
Michael
for
Bro
growth.
thing.
It was you know those what do you call MMBAs the games that are
MOBA?
like yeah, it was a 4-player single screen MOBA, but it was
Okay.
also volleyball.
Okay.
All right. Cool.
Yeah, pretty good. I don't know.
It's like the other thing with game jams is like don't do your own engine from scratch. I found Game Maker to be really, really good for jam games because it has so much of the basic stuff there.
I think part of that is also you are not learning stuff while you're doing it.
In this
Although-
case, I
In
learned
this case,
Box
you were,
2D.
well, you were
while
learning
doing it.
Box 2D, but you weren't learning other parts of Game Maker.
Yeah.
I was also learning Game Maker 2, so actually this
Well,
was...
then, I don't know.
Game Maker 2 is very similar to Game Maker 1.
It was similar enough. Like, I definitely had a few, like, what?
It's more that you can do more things rather than that
Yeah.
you can't do some of the things you used to be able to do. Although that's not fully true.
My experience with doing jam games as someone who does like things more on the programming side of things is like you can do it, but you have to kind of be doing engine work ahead of time. And like one thing is that almost all game jam games say you have to make the stuff during the span of the thing, but they don't, as a exception, they say unless it's open source code. So like usually when I had a game, I did 10 Ludum Dares in a row before I stopped. And a thing I would usually do ahead of time is like not necessarily know what it was I was going to make, but kind of have like some general ideas in my head of things I wanted to play with technically, and then just sort of like whatever it was, the capabilities that I'd need, I would like add that to the open source engine that I use over the few days before it started.
But also, like, you're coming into it with that engine already. Like, you already have an
Yeah.
engine that you know how to use.
I'm not going to sit down and attempt to learn, GLFW or something over the course of the weekend.
I've
In
mainly
the case
only...
of Toe Jam, it does allow you to... You can't work on the game, but you can be, like, working on your libraries, your general game
Yeah,
libraries.
I think
and
it's
stuff.
I think it's more forgiving than many in that like anything that is plausibly reusable or reused, they're pretty okay with. Like there are definitely people who come in and cannibalize parts of old games to make their new one.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of a difficult thing because you can't just say no engine reuse because then you're putting like a huge weight on like game maker type people.
And also, it's like, it's
Or-
boring. Like, it means, like, you're spending most of your time working on, like, the
Yeah,
shitty parts
the
rather
parts
than,
you
like,
care
actually
about.
making a game.
Oh, I should mention Golden Gear Games organizes Toe Jam now.
Nice.
Yeah, I feel like they strike a really good balance in that I've never really felt like someone's just like reskinned a game for it.
Yeah.
Like it's never felt like someone was doing something other than trying to make the best new idea they could.
I feel like the big thing is, like, like when you're coming into a game jam, like, you want to be, like, thinking about game design. Like, that's the thing
Yeah.
that's fun to explore. Whereas it's not programming. Like,
Yeah.
this isn't, like, a 48-hour programming challenge. This is, like...
Yeah, and like a thing is like go in with a plan, but also be flexible. Like being
Yeah.
able to improvise as you go. So like when I made this, I'm like, oh, okay, this is the matches are going too fast, so I added those blocks. I'm like, this is something that's easy to do in Box 2D because it actually
Yeah.
handles a bunch of boxes bashing into each other better than like Game Maker's
Yeah,
raw
that's-
physics do. So I could simply just place them with some specific settings and it would work.
So, someone said just programming and assembly. In the last TO Jam that I went to, someone did do Tetris in assembly on like a watch as their game, so it can be done.
I mean, not that, like, a 48-hour programming challenge doesn't sound fun,
Yeah.
honestly.
I
It
feel
wa-
like
it
But you're not going to be getting any interesting game design stuff.
Yeah, exactly. They
I
did
feel
decide
like
to
probably-
do the most proven game.
I feel like,
Like,
more
implementing
often
someone
than-
else's game is, like, the way to make that possible.
Mhm.
I feel like more often the games that come out of these game jams being really exciting are the ones that are artists that didn't really do any programming at all and just like made something. And I don't know, it's interesting. Like there's this kind of weird balance of like just because you're programming doesn't mean you're doing design, right?
Game design and programming are separate disciplines. They can
Yeah.
be shared in the same person, but that goes with artists
Yeah,
as well.
extremely.
So
So-
shall we switch to one more match of this, or should we switch off to the next thing?
That seems like a good
That's
switching point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think the next one is Co-op Cottage Defense.
Oh, yeah.
Which is one of my favorite games. This is
I
more of a
also
month-long
really like this
game rather than a few day-long game to make.
What was it for?
What's the
Um,
name
it
of this
was-
one?
Do you want to swap back?
The full...
Cephalopod's Co-op Cottage Defense.
I just saw my headphones back.
Oh, and let me paste in Blobber Basher for
yeah.
people who want
Go for it. I'll pull up...
for folks who want to play Blobber Basher.
Golden Gear Games is hype about co-op cottage defense. I suppose they've played this one.
Almost certainly.
Yeah.
This is one of your games where I'm kind of surprised that I haven't seen the main mechanic. Like, enough people played this that I'm surprised that I haven't seen that swap mechanic in something else, because it works really well.
In this game, was developed when Miguel was on the height of his steampunk bullshit.
I like my steampunk bullshit. I'm not going to stop. So this one was created for a Artsy Games incubator, which I was running.
I think Player One's there.
One of the participants in it was Super Brothers, who went on to do Swords and Sorcery afterwards. And this game was one of the inspirations for Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time. And is directly inspired by Trauma Center New Blood.
Yeah,
So
okay, I can see that,
random
actually.
games that have been an influence on it.
Like, not without you saying it, but I understand.
That's one of those, yeah, when you,
How about we just jump into this, because...
Yeah. And we'll sort of explain it as we go.
We'll explain as we go, but it's also fairly self-explanatory, actually.
Yeah, it actually has instructions also. So you can tell this was designed for a cabinet in terms of the instructions. So the shotgun can shoot, the hammer can fix stuff, can save the other player, and can stun enemies. If you hold down the action button, you'll keep doing it. You'll keep shooting or hammering, and you can strafe. And then if we both hit the trade button, we can swap items.
Yeah, this is the mechanic where I'm like, why haven't I seen this in other things? It's really strong.
Yeah, this is the one I really like.
And if we keep barriers completely unbroken, we get a multiplier for our score. And it is just a score attack game, so it goes endlessly. Am I getting sound?
I'm not getting sound.
Oh, there it is. It's just really quiet. Yeah, it's just a quieter game. I've got to repair this.
I really like the first couple of seconds of the game when nothing's happening.
Oh, so there's a... So the person with the shotgun moves really slowly. Oh, that.
Is there friendly fire?
I know. So that's one trying to shoot from there.
If you all have not seen Miguel's games before, after looking at a few of these screens, you might start to notice certain recurring themes in Miguel's art.
Oh no! This one goes direct, specifically after the hammer person switch. Oh no! Oh no! Switch. So the person with the hammer can move a lot faster, which means they can sort of get to an area where stuff needs to be done quickly. Switch.
Oh shit.
Oh no, okay. Get to a good position and I'll switch moves. Switching. This also seriously needs some repair.
Let's switch.
Yeah, it's sort of a war of attrition.
I remember thinking that I wished that in perspective so you could see the height of the fence.
Yeah, that was kind of a problem with... Oh,
No.
oh no, get in! Oh, no, okay, I'm almost dead, so... I should stay with the shotgun as much as possible. Because you won't get damaged. Or you will get damaged, but I will just end up with a squid on top of my head. So actually, oh no. Okay, run over there and I'll switch it with you. Switch.
That one explodes. It's bad. It's a bad time.
How's the red one different?
It explodes.
It explodes.
And it
Switch.
Hence your statement, that one explodes.
Indeed.
That's the one. That explodes.
Let's get rid of these.
Does the goo just slow you down or does it hurt you?
It slows you down.
I'll switch.
Yeah, switching.
Oh no. Shit. I've gotta.
Okay, I'm coming to save you. Oh no, and there's an explodey one there.
Oh no.
Oh no, and that was the killing blow for me. So a big goal with this was to get the two players communicating, which is where it was really inspired by. So that's the score to beat.
Can I try?
Yep.
B to switch, A to do.
Yep.
Let me just see. Yeah, the idea is, I think I did actually give these players names so they don't show up in the game much. I know her name's Amber Pennyworth, or something
Oh,
along
it's on the
those
title
lines.
screen, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Suffragette and scientist, I believe. And Winston Mainspring, her robotic ballet. So you want to be closer because those bullets do gather.
Okay.
So blank works a lot better.
Yeah, like it's actually, and it's like pushing the track on the actual pellet, right?
Yeah, each pellet actually does it. You don't need to. Kill that first. Okay. Swap.
Oh, or that.
So the better thing there would actually be to send the person with a hammer over to the far side that needed stuff taken and then swapping. So walking over is often the worst tactic. It is always slower.
Oh.
And you've got to be careful once they get into an attack pattern. Getting close is dangerous.
Oh, the green slows you down.
Yeah.
Good.
Right.
Oh. You gotta take care of that one.
Seems like one thing that's a little awkward is that, like, once they start bunching up at a particular point, like, you kind of have...
I'm gonna take out
Who's
these
the
two.
robot?
I'm the robot.
Maybe these two and then
Robert,
we
you
can
can
swap.
hold down the button and just move up and down while hammering.
It's true.
You really need to swap.
Swap.
over.
Yeah, could we swap? Oh.
Yep.
Huh. Sure, swap.
I feel like one of the issues is that like very early on the robot is like something I could do.
Wait, what happened?
I
Did we die?
died.
died.
It,
Oh,
turns out,
okay.
it turns out one of us can die and the whole thing's over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it does definitely has a problem. So like early on, there's like basically one wall to patch up.
I feel like what's good about the patching up thing is that it's like it's make work basically. Like it's always something that can be,
Yeah.
you know, it boosts your score. It's a good thing to do.
But
Something
also-
that I really liked in Lovers, right, is that there's like too many jobs to do for how many players there is,
Yeah.
and like I feel like that's the thing that jumps to mind is that like
Yeah.
if there's just one more job that like so like there's always something being neglected.
Well, there's
Use a
two
generator
players
to
and
keep the lights on.
there's 2 players and 3 walls, which is almost enough. But like, a thing is that like I feel like we kept getting in loops where we would be like both facing the same wall, and like
That is bad. That is why your score was highest. You're
But it
not
wasn't
getting
stopping us from
You're
doing that.
you're not getting to the highest because you aren't playing optimally. So you really want to get up close, like that, doing it from a distance.
And it's like, really is necessary to...
Also, you can hold it down.
Yeah, so that's the best defense thing is up at defense. So get rid of that one. Swap.
Swap.
Oh,
Swap.
got it. Okay, swapping back.
And then we definitely like getting much more.
Yeah. So
Swap.
just keeping each other on opposite sides helps a lot. If you're ever walking the shotgun over
Swap.
someone.
No, swap. Swap.
Oh, swap. So good thing is like hammer that out of the main path and then get rid of it is a good tactic.
Oh, wow, I did that completely on accident. Swap.
Yeah. Swap.
What does the black one do?
It goes after, I think, either the person
Swap.
with the hammer or
I'm
the
pretty sure
person
if you
with
Swap.
that makes more sense.
Swap.
They're gonna want to get the
Swap.
Wait, that was...
Swap.
Oh. Well, I'm playing with you. Okay, I was trying to figure out why you were talking. I was like, huh,
Swap.
it's really nice of Miguel to be giving advice.
Swap and then hammer that out of the way if you can. Oh, okay, it's out of the way.
Too
Swap.
late. Oh, because it leaves... Swap!
Yep, swapping. Shooting.
Although I guess we do
Swap.
have like
Move to the center and then
Swap!
swap.
you do have 3 walls for 2 people.
Yeah.
One of
So yeah, that is where, and that becomes more and more as
Swap.
it ramps up the difficulty. Again, this is sort of tuned for events
Swap.
where it'd be shown.
Yeah, no,
Where
it
you
is
sort of
like-
give people enough time to learn how it works and then start piling in.
It would be interesting if there
Swap.
was any way at all to clear away the gun.
That's true.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
If the hammer could like knock it off or
Swap.
knock it back or something. Oh,
Maybe if it was some kind of hammer broom.
oh, shoot it.
Swap. Here left.
Move over here if there's.
Okay, sure. Swap.
See if I can. Oh,
Sorry.
Swap. Little slow.
Swap.
Yeah, Miguel, are they coming to rescue the baby you have?
Yes.
Miguel,
I'm not
Amazing.
saying we're good people.
are we the bad guys?
We also are investigating some sort of tentacle tablet, which is probably not a good thing either.
Don't do that.
Behind the door, Miguel. What's behind the door?
Listen, they interrupted our tea, clearly. Swap. Swap. Yeah, even if it's mostly on their side, I think it was better. Swap. Yeah, this is sort of optimal play where we're not moving ourselves around that much, other than to get between the 2 different spots. Swap. If you can repair that, so we
I
can
can't move that fast.
swap.
I feel like also like a big difference between this and the trauma center is that like trauma center is really built around like having fully symmetric
Swap.
Yeah.
like you're playing different roles and like well I guess that's actually like similar.
Yeah, you're switching off roles.
And it's like you're negotiating
Swap.
roles on the fly, which is good.
Yeah, no, it's definitely one of the things that's great about
Like you
Trauma
can't just
Center.
be good at doing one thing. You have to.
Trauma Center is a lot less reactive. You're often going through a oh shit, swap. Oh.
How big is the
Have we
explosion?
seen one of these explode yet?
No.
Oh no! Swap! Kill it!
What's up?
So yeah, now we're hitting the point where like... as soon as you get rid of those, I'll swap with you.
I don't know if that's gonna happen.
You're almost there. Oh, but don't hammer, just hold it straight.
Oh yeah. Swap.
Swap!
Yeah, I think if you wanted to
Swap.
have a launch, if you wanted to do that,
Swap.
like, slow down the attack, but add more things. Shouldn't be the same more than swap.
Swap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be interesting if the person. It would be interesting if there was more than one tool, for example. Like if there was a mop and also a hammer, maybe.
Swap! Oh wait, no, I'm gonna come to rescue you.
Maybe you are.
Well, it's like you were stun locked. Oh no! Oh no! Help! Help!
Okay.
It's like while I can attack, I can also become completely helpless. Oh no!
Oh.
So that's the best round we've had now.
That's good.
I think having different things to do in the cottage, so like stuff that you'd have to maintain or like power-ups you could go and pick up in that top area that you're normally not going into.
I feel like honestly, like
don't
I
know-
would think about like just like one more interaction with the with the like the squids, frankly.
Honestly, I'd be.
No, carry on.
I would be curious about just you don't have a lot of mobility, so if you added too much stuff, that would be like really hard. But if there was some way to like, if there was just like a swap, because like the green stuff really is a really significant problem, especially if you're not getting rid of it optimally, and like just some way of dealing with, like maybe if the green stuff literally never went away.
Except when you mopped.
Yeah, except when you mop, or if there was like, if you had to like,
That's
hit-
another maintenance task though.
if there was like a tank and you had to like wail on it to make it like splash water on the floor or something.
I
And that would give you a reason on the top half of it, like you had to keep. What if you banged on the tank, it would like sploosh a bunch of water all over the floor?
That would be good. Anything that would get you into that top area, 'cause it's not
That is true.
very much.
And that would also like make the top symmetrical with the other three in terms of it's something where it's something where you're just standing there banging for a certain amount of time.
You could actually put some tea on, and if you finish the putting some tea on task, you get a little.
Yeah, I think things that like there's a lot of like moment to moment strategy in this. There's not a lot of long strategy. Yeah, coming to save you. So things that would add swap. Add long-term strategy. The match of the. Let me just actually find you in this case. Oh, no, we've got a growing number of slime ones. Okay, I can get to this faster than you can get to it. And be careful if I get slimed, it'll just slow me down no matter where I am. If I get too close to that. Somewhere I have a doc full of ideas on how to expand this. And like things you can do for different levels. Where,
Good
like,
swap.
yeah, where maybe like in one case you're actually in separate cottages, having to throw stuff back and forth between each other.
Huh.
Like there's a lot of I think
Alternate layouts, yeah.
there's definitely a lot that could be done with this swapping mechanic.
Yeah. I keep being intrigued by the idea of there being one gun with multiple tools or something. Or if there's multiple screens, you can imagine like some levels have just the hammer, some levels have the hammer and mop, some levels have, you know.
What if there was a tool chest at the top and you were going to swap any of the weapons with the tool chest?
Sure, or just like
So that would give you more long points. Like, okay, I can use the bomb.
it's very cute that there's tea all over the table, but you could also just imagine there being several objects sitting on the table.
Overcooked is another game.
Yeah.
Oh, did Overcooked 2 added throwing,
Oh.
which I'm really curious to see how it plays.
That's why.
Because it could bring a little bit of this to it if you're like throwing
Yeah.
ingredients around and stuff.
One thing I do notice is that, like, I think maybe there's like a limit on how complex you can make this just because of its pixel art style, where it's like Overcooked can represent kind of like
I think Overcooked is like it's also like definitely
Oh, shit. Oh, okay, let's see what happens there. that took down the entire fence.
Yeah, it's
And if I'd been hit by any of the fire, it would have also done.
What's the downside to that one?
It hugs one of you. It's
It's a little faster and a little.
oh,
And it gets faster and faster over time.
Okay. So there is like an incentive to get it quick rather than...
Oh yeah, no, you do not want to leave it around. You can like stun it a bunch, but that basically takes up time for your bash on.
So Xander is observing that like something with a slight imbalance is that like the center position is somewhat awful for the gunner because you can reach all sides. But if you, that's actually kind of misleading because the bullets actually don't reach as far as you think they will.
Yeah, they actually have about a half cottage covering.
And they spread out, so you're not gonna. Where right at the fence, you'll do like a one-shot kill from far away. Like there.
oh, fuck.
That took 3 shots to take that one out because you're only.
I'm hurting.
If there were more,
I say, I do not. I have no fondness for this unusual history.
So yeah, it seems like it's unoptimal, but
Alright,
it
fuck.
is- like the center is always good to get to everything relatively quickly, but not that quickly when you're running it. Shotgun.
Having the only weapon be the shotgun.
I should have defended
Shotgun.
you. I had a better shot on that because you can only shoot that like in cardinal directions.
Yeah,
It sometimes
that is
makes
true.
sense to actually rescue the person from the black one instead of. Oh no! Also, when they get just nicked a bit, they get faster. That's another reason why nicking
black
things.
ones.
Yeah. Oh no! Oh no! Nicking is often bad because you end up with just a lot of angry squids that are going to get to you faster and be more aggressive. Oh no!
One thing I was gonna say is that like, if we need more items of this, it would be very good if there was any time to first aid it, because like
Oh yeah, no, that
multiple of these games have ended with one of the characters much weaker than the other.
Yeah, I don't think I took a single hit.
I just did really badly in that round, and that's like not an interest. I feel like that is not turning out to be an interesting kind of feeling.
Yeah.
Just imagine like.
I would also consider just like a shared health bar, honestly.
Yeah, no, I actually could have used it. That's
But having the health power up be something that not just like something that randomly spawns, but something you actually have to like that has like a couple of steps that you do could be an interesting sort of trade-off.
yeah.
Because like the thing is, if there's, I really like the and element of the high school
Yeah,
board.
it's
I don't
really
think
good.
I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Really cute.
Yeah, it could be something where you repair. The one thing that is interesting when you're playing this at a high level is that once one person is low on health, making one person take on the shotgun task more because they're less likely to get hit and more likely to just end up with a squid on top of them. So there's a little bit, but I don't think that is as interesting as something where you are like crafting some sort of health every once in a while as the
Yeah.
hammer
Well,
person.
what would be interesting to me is the idea of you should make scones. Like you have to go to the back and like walk around the kitchen making scones. I feel like what would be interesting is if you could get back health, but getting back health would require trading off time, and then
Yeah.
possibly you have to make a really tough decision because maybe time is more valuable than health.
I think just making you walk up to the top and like start scones cooking and then having there be a delay before they show up would be enough.
Actually, borrowing completely from Overcooked, start scones. If you leave them there for too long, they catch fire.
That's a
and
really
are
good-
ruined.
yeah.
So you basically have to like start a health recovery thing, then take it out and put it on the table so it can be used.
And that's a really good.
And
Just
if
or
you leave-
whoever has low health, it needs to walk up to it while it's still good.
So it's a time management thing that is very different than maintaining a fence.
Yeah,
Whereas-
and that kind of time managing is really hard because it's like you might be able to, you might have the time to go back and get the scones out of the oven, but not necessarily at the moment you need them.
Yeah, like maybe at the same time you've got one of those exploding ones, which right now is the closest to the scones in terms of pacing.
Yeah.
Also, someone in the chat is observing that like if you went up to the top, then that would create a cost to just dumping all of your green goop up there. But actually, that might be like the fact you don't go up top means that the green that actually opens up a strategy because it means that the top area is just a safe dumping ground for green goo.
Yeah. But if there was some sort of cleaning thing,
Yeah.
This group of people is, if you want to have every mechanic of the game second guessed, even if it was made by one of the people here.
But yeah, like that's sort of one of those games I would kind of be interested to go back to, because I think there is a lot of promise in it, and no one's done anything quite like
That's
it
interesting.
since, and it's been around now for like almost a decade. I think this is a like 2009 game.
I think
Maybe a
Sandra is
2010.
suggesting that there needs to be a third player for the mod.
Fixer, gunner, maid. And then so you've got to choose which person is swapping.
Yeah, I feel like 3 players is definitely I don't know, like it's harder number of like players to get, whereas like when you have something on a cabinet or you know, even as like as a local multiplayer game, something that can just be played by 2 is like really helpful.
2 is good and 4 is good. 3 is a weird number. I find like three-player local multiplayer games don't get played much here because you either have very large groups who are trying to get as many people playing as possible, or it's like you've got one friend over, or you've got a significant other that you're playing a game with.
But like 2 to 3 like isn't bad.
Yeah, I think like this could be turned into an adventure where you're traveling to place to defend for various reasons.
And I feel like that was how like Lovers in a Dangerous Space Time was expanded, because like it was just started as a score attack game.
Yeah, no,
and like it was turned into like something.
It was, I
like
believe, a Toe Jam game at first.
Yep.
Like so many things out of Toronto.
Like, dude, if you're going from place to place and you're always carrying around your little squid in a tank and you just can't understand why these monsters are chasing you.
I guess we'll research in this other cottage. So this is
guess at that one. We're just so impolite.
So this is another one that is available for free if you've got a PC or the ability to emulate a PC. So I'm gonna post the Kinecty thing for it. And this is actually sort of a sequel to a previous game I did called Night of the Cephalopods. Oh, we've been playing this in the wrong screen thing. I'm so sorry, everyone. It should have looked like this. Let's do one round with this.
Was it tiny?
It was tiny.
All right.
We have a complicated setup, so please tell us.
Are there any combinations we haven't done yet? Oh, okay. Me and Miguel.
We've done it together.
Okay.
Have you two done it?
Well, we can see how many times.
Yeah.
We're the MVPs, so let's do this one more time.
Okay.
Wait, actually, hold on. I want audio.
I have very little trouble getting 4 people for local multiplayer.
Really? I feel like you have trouble getting only 4 people.
Yeah, the problem is only getting 4 people.
I think
Which is why we sometimes now play 6-player Towerfall.
I think this is a promising one for adding a third player that is fun but not necessary.
Yeah.
In terms of like, if they could clean up the goo and were faster at making stones, that's a fun addition, but not necessary.
So yeah, that's a good tactic. You smash it somewhere safe so you've got more time, and then switch. Like there are a lot of little like micro tactics that help.
Switch.
I just feel like this is also just interesting as like a game designed for arcade, like designed for an actual literal arcade cabinet, but like with different concerns than a lot of arcade games have. Like there's no money motive, for example. I know I keep bringing this up, but I just find it so amazing.
Oh, shit. I looked away at the screen for a second. That was a mistake.
The freaking Neo Geo developer guy like has a specific number of seconds that should elapse at most before you put in more money.
Oh no, okay, switch.
They think that people should ideally, and they tested this, they really like refined this. You should be putting in money every 2 minutes or less. And you should be balancing your game around.
And that is why those games are terrible in terms of.
Yes, this is why Metal Slug fucking sucks. It's just awful.
Like it's beautiful, but
it's
like
beautiful,
it is
just
so badly
God,
tuned.
just
for anything other than what it was supposed to be tuned for.
Yeah.
It is extremely well tuned for making you put in money every 2 minutes.
And I guess any less than 2 minutes, people stop playing sooner and spend less money overall.
Switch.
Yeah, like I assume at that level, like they just go, oh, this is bullshit. I'm not gonna play it.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Whereas like
Can I make it in time?
Wait, what does it mean if I'm covered in green?
And I guess
You're slow. You
so
got
if you
hit
have
by-
multiple developers
Switch.
developing with one arcade, you also just whatever you want to make sure they're all the same, so that people don't find
But-
a specific game a better deal.
well, especially for a Neo Geo cabinet because those like had like 3 or 4 games.
Right.
Like you could
Switch,
They would
switch.
play whatever the longest
Oh,
game was, right?
Okay, smash. Okay.
Switch.
So you were wondering what happened, what the green on you meant? That meant you got hit by some goo, which is why you don't want to be too close to the green guys when you kill them.
Interesting.
And you just have a debuff. A green debuff. Swap.
They did an interview with one of the developers it was called
Switch. No.
ephemera in Japan, but they had
Switch.
a test arcade. The arcade game developers also had a test arcade that was like attached to the studio so they could watch people
Oh,
play
nice.
as like everything working.
Yeah, for
Swap.
arcade stuff like tests, like location tests were really like important.
Swap.
Having actual access to that and like, watching that is like the best thing.
Oh yeah, no. A lot of the games you see here I took around to events and then did tuning.
I feel like this is like
Switch.
a big thing of like why is it really good to go to an event with a development. It's not necessarily just like let other people see
Yeah.
it. It's just like watch other people play it.
I'm switching.
You can get bad ideas from that because it is a different environment.
Yeah.
But you can also learn what stuff to pay attention
Yeah.
to.
Well, so the worst the worst possible thing you can do is Clever Hans.
What is Clever Hans again?
Clever Hans was the horse that what did it do math?
It was supposedly a horse that could do math.
Yeah, but it couldn't actually do math.
what
What it
happened-
could do
Yeah.
was it could look to the human nearby and see if it was like excited about
Yeah.
the numbers and answers that it gave.
Switch.
And I don't think like the trainers responsible for this realize
I've got
that
a red.
Oh, okay, swap.
No, it was one of those cases. It's one of the classical cases of a scam where the scammers switch. Maybe.
Yeah.
It's one of the classical cases of a scam where the scammers didn't realize they were scamming.
This is a very hard game to have a conversation. Wow.
Okay.
I'm just realizing the fact that it is about communication.
Switch.
Mode. See if we can work the word switch into our conversation.
You know what this would be great on? The Nintendo Switch. Switch. Oh, okay, you got it.
Yeah. Sorry.
But yeah, this is a problem that you can have when you're watching people play a game you developed.
Yeah. You have to make absolutely certain when someone is playtesting your game to not react to anything. Switch.
Like definitely one of the worst things you can do is like give people advice. Like you want to
Yeah.
watch their bouncing off, but even just like having something
Have a
subtle.
whole arcade where they don't know you're the developer.
Yeah.
And they have to play money if they want to keep paying.
Yeah. No, that's like that sounds great. I would
Switch.
love to have that.
I do sometimes like give people hints and then sometimes I want to know like how they'll play, or sometimes I want to know like how is this standing up on people know how to play.
Yeah.
And you also want people to have a good experience.
No, that is true. Like once you've figured out that something's a problem, like you take it down to notice like people have a
Oh,
problem with it. and,
can
like,
I get there faster? Oh no, there's so much green goo. So much green goo.
But you got the hammer.
Please
back.
kill those.
Kill all of them.
Yeah, just kill all of them.
Please, help
Switch.
my enemies.
Are you sure?
Actually, no,
Yes.
wait.
Yes.
Switch. Just so I can get over to this side faster.
Oh, that's good. Good thing. I found that.
Switch.
Maybe I'm gonna stop talking.
Have you ever made the decision to have them
Switch.
get knocked back when you hit them and they're not stunned, but not be able to repeatedly knock them back while they're stunned?
I think you can to some extent.
No, not much compared to the initial knockback.
Yeah, actually, you can't move so much.
You have, you have to time your second strike to allow them to just unstun.
You need some help over here?
I need someone needs to get over there. Also, you gotta. Switch.
Give me a second here and I'll switch. Oh no, I see the problem.
Yeah. I don't,
No worries, gonna mostly kill those other things.
Wow, that was interesting.
So let's switch.
Yeah, there is an extent to which like letting a problem develop means that they just bunch up and they're easier to kill. Switch maybe? Or no?
I just got to a position where you could kill him for me, which is totally valid tactic.
It does seem you sometimes wind up spending very long periods like standing in one place, mashing the.
It's true, but it feels active and intense because you're evaluating the entire screen.
Yeah.
It's not a great game.
Switch.
Yeah.
We might actually. We might. Yeah. They don't knock back the second time. Switch.
Yeah.
Switching. There.
No, I think that's good. Because like the first knockback is really good. You can clear them outside the wall if they got a way inside. But then
Help! Help!
Okay, working on it. There.
Wow, we've almost got like an internal border here.
Trent says there's not enough tea for all these guests.
Oh no! This is bad. I hate this.
What? Oh, do you want to switch?
Yeah, switch. I'm like trying to move this back so we can actually like repair this fencing. This is a good match. Like it's always good when you are surviving but getting one of these like.
Switch.
You're fully inside the house.
Yeah, we basically just wound up falling back to like the middle of the new fence. I don't know. You want to switch?
Yeah. If you can keep that repaired, I might actually be able to finally kill off enough of these.
Yeah.
I will
we
both
need
it.
switch.
No, it's not going to be able to get there quite yet. Just keep hammering. What? It can't reach there. There's too many in the way. Switch.
Okay. Well, that worked out.
This is a great match. Like it was one behind you.
Oh no, we've gotten to the point where it spawns doubles.
Oh, no.
Oh. That was a great match, though.
Yeah.
By Thor's beard.
Capital squid killing. I see. Your
No.
teamwork in the force of adversity, unspeakable evil, and ever soul-crushing defeat is an inspiration to us all.
That's it. That was a good final round.
Oof.
Yeah.
We're right
Oof.
to
Yeah,
try
that was a
again.
lot.
So that shows sort of like what it gets when you get really good
Yeah.
and start getting into the really tough matches. And you're dealing with like, oh, there's suddenly 2 black squids teleporting in.
Yeah.
Like getting to those positions where you're actually trying to push back and regain the border is really interesting.
Although that is another thing that might make it nice if there was more than one world, because like a problem to me with these kind of survival games is that like they get really interesting about 8 minutes in, but you can't see that part without surviving for 8 minutes first. So like having one level that like maybe like, well, you don't want to play it because you don't get as high a score, but like the difficulty ramps up a lot quicker.
Yeah.
I need to check whether it's a timer-based or score-based
Well, that's
difficulty.
interesting.
If it's score-based, that can help a bit, but this doesn't have Russian Subway Dogs thing where you can get crazy scores really quickly if you really
Yeah.
understand the combo system. Because that deals
It's
with
just
that
not
problem.
quite like complex enough to have like.
Also, I feel like it wouldn't have the right mood if you could, you know?
Well, I feel like
You could have a
like high
multiplayer
level
that goes
playing
up
is.
for how long the fence has been up. But
Yeah, they do like when you've got all 4 of them, you do get a lot, but later on that's also basically impossible to
Yeah.
have like full multipliers going.
I mean, I feel like one of the big differences is like high level play in Russian Subway Dogs is about doing like things very deliberately and
Yeah.
like creating very complicated situations, whereas this is about managing a lot of chaos
Yeah.
and like.
I think that's also Russian Subway Dogs.
I mean,
But it doesn't
no,
have that-
I mean that's part of it.
Yeah.
But,
it doesn't
like
have
this
that
is
should
just
I be
managing
shooting?
chaos.
Yes, you should always be shooting.
And like you couldn't. I'm not sure you.
Like
could
you're not
actually,
creating complicated situations here. You're just
Yeah.
managing chaos.
And I'm not sure you
in
can
order
do
to do
the-
that, you need the chaos to exist first.
Yeah.
I'm not sure you could do the planning thing without taking away the element of it makes sense to let things bunch. You know?
Mm-hmm.
There's a link to the download. I can't remember if I did that before. I'm trying to remember if we have. I think we might be at Guerrilla Gardening.
I think so.
Nice.
So that one may require me to do a bit of configuration here for the resolution. So if
Okay.
you want to...
I'll load that up.
Oh, we never changed the category for cephalopods. Oh well.
We're also on this next one going to have to be very careful to make sure it isn't running for the next hour after the demo completes.
Yeah, we were like, what's that sound? And then we realized it was the prototype.
Oh, was that what it was?
Yeah. And I think it was just a bug in Java. It was like just running the sound engine and nothing else.
Sorry.
So this was the very first Spooky Squid Game, and we had funding for a prototype, but we never got funding for production. But we prototyped and shopped it around for about a year and a half, so the prototype got very, very polished for a prototype. And it's inspired by a real-life thing, much like Russian subway dogs. It's inspired by guerrilla gardening, which is where people sort of go to places that shouldn't legally be able to garden and grow plants. And involves things like seed bombs, which are basically a bunch of fertilizer, clay, and seeds that you can throw
Nice. Which is
into places you can't get into.
a fun premise for the province of Ontario to be funding.
Yeah. This is not the one that got the OMDC in trouble. That was pipe trouble. Which
It had
unfortunately
trouble
Alex...
in the name.
Yeah.
You should have known.
Yeah, which unfortunately Alex is no longer in the chat, but he would have things to say about that. So yeah, this is the version from June 2010, but we started this in early 2009.
So how many players is this?
It is one player.
Okay.
So, get up a bit. Which one is the... So someone else should play this, I feel.
Okay.
So
I
this,
want to play it. I want to play it.
This
I
is
have
actually-
heard you talk about this game for years. We've known each other since 2012.
2012 was when we that
Yeah.
was when Comics vs. Games happened and you took part in it and we
I've
started
heard you tell
hanging
me
out
about this
more.
game so much, and I know that.
And this is a rough, kind of shitty version of it. There's definitely things that, like, by the time we had stopped shopping it around, I already knew needed to be changed. And I'll talk about those sort of as we go through it. And, like, the presentation isn't at the level that we wanted. Oh, let me make sure that this is actually being framed correctly.
Hey, so is June 2010 prototype the Russian subway dog spot?
I think I've used that for promo, but it's not used in-game in Russian Subway Dogs. This does have, like, one of the ideas in it would be that there would be... There we go. There would be, like, the guerrilla gardeners would have this sort of, like, graffiti, very rounded shaped stuff, and General Bauhaus and the sort of fascist government that was outlawing planting would have sort of constructivist and brutalist
It's an
design.
interesting thing to try to convey in pixel art.
Well, this does one of the things that you hate. It has a HUD that is not. So which one is player one?
This is player one, but it doesn't seem to be.
Okay, this is not. It's probably DirectX player one. Oh, sorry, X input. Okay, there we
This
go.
one?
So here, Green Revolution. General Bauhaus, the city's fascist dictator, has all the green space in town destroyed. Trees are banned, flowers outlawed. As Molly Greenthumb, the scrappy young leader of the guerrilla gardeners, you must use your amazing array of fast-growing plants to avoid the cops, cheer up the citizens, overthrow the general, and make the city green again.
I mean, I don't know why it has like this framing. This just sounds like Toronto right now.
I'm captivated by the idea of like a pink-haired girl with green eyes.
Are we getting sound?
I am not hearing
I
anything.
don't know. Maybe once we get in,
Okay.
there'll be voice acting.
The
Basics. It is a battle in which bullets are replaced with flowers most of the time.
Is that an actual?
Richard Reynolds on Guerrilla Gardening. There's a quote for every level.
Okay. Yeah, we have audio now.
Oh wow.
Such tiny pixels.
So, if this was a real dictatorship, there would not be as many helpful signs. What did the first sign say? Welcome to the Guerrilla Gardening prototype.
Can I just get that one signed? Yeah, thanks.
Hold Y to view plant info. So we've got water lilies, create a walkable path over water, and we've got a trowel.
Oh.
Dig up plants so that you can use them elsewhere. Destroys ornamentals, doesn't work on thorn vines or trees. Tilt right thumbstick to throw seeds.
Oh, okay. So it's just tilt. There's no.
Yeah. You can walk while doing it. Wanted for botanical terrorism. So the black signs are sort of little bits of story. New CCTV cameras are looking out for you.
So this is stage-based.
Yeah. You'll need to run past these cops quickly. So the first bit is just tutorial.
That over there. Jumping at shadows again.
That
What's that
is
noise?
Scott Moyle from Dakota Ring Theater.
Gotcha.
Oh my god.
I'm getting too old for this.
Wait, now, okay, I'm just gonna be sitting here trying to figure out which character he is on the Dakota Ring Theater podcast I listen to.
Molly is also voiced by one of the Dakota Ring Theater people. So if you tilt the stick a little bit, you can walk.
Slow walking.
Whoa.
Yeah.
This is like a really...
Wait, did you do two different walk cycles depending on your speed?
Yes.
Is that a good idea?
The entire art style of this was a bad idea in terms of trying to do it for like less than like many hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Never mind, we got Abby Hoffman quotes. This game is great. Perfect. 10 out of 10.
So the first duty of a revolutionary is to get away with it. The second duty is to eat breakfast.
But where can I call for my free buffalo?
Free buffalo is not part of the game design. Hold. Well, no, we've got to read these because people.
Hold LB button to walk quietly.
Okay, so there was a hold.
Okay, so you can just hold it in.
And it also
That's
does
good.
analog movement. No running. Citizens heard running will be investigated.
We are red.
Oh, okay. Let's have a look at what's
Get on
going on
this
with the
story.
stream. Give us a second, folks. We're just going to have a look and see what's going on.
I'm just gonna.
It's really
Oh.
interesting to me how...
Could people check if their phones are on the network and take them off? It could be something's trying to update.
I'm off.
Pretty sure mine.
I'm off.
I am not off. I am now off.
What about Christine?
Oh, is this laptop? Oh, fuck me.
That
That laptop's running Steam. We should really make sure
Oh.
it's disconnected. Wow.
Once again, how has it even been working?
Yeah, no, that's a really good question.
Yeah, it looks like one of our... We're now in the 700s.
God
one
damn
of
it,
our,
it was probably updating a game. Son of a bitch.
Sorry about that, folks. Thanks for letting us know.
I feel like we need to set it up where every time that like something goes wrong with like the stream, we have to correct it. It plays like a little theme or something.
That sounds like something that would also break the stream. Get up a little bit for a second. I need to get some little like short extension
Yeah, we.
things. We need to do some general shopping for the setup to make this easier.
So, do you want to explain steal this book while I walk?
No, let's
Slowly.
read those two things.
Yeah, we already
Oh,
did.
yeah,
It was
yeah,
telling
yeah.
me to power walk,
Yeah,
not run.
through there. But yeah, this is way too high res to do as an indie game affordably, and also an expensive art style. Like the plan was to have actual buildings that would show up. And
Oh
such.
wow.
Press A near trees to hide in leafy safety. This is a bit easier to do with the mouse controls.
I was gonna say it's interesting how this one. That's kind of cool.
There, it's highlighted. Go, hit the button.
Gotcha. Huh. Free. Gotcha.
Is it not?
Huh?
There we go. The console controls were added
That over
after
there.
the mouse controls.
There. Huh.
So they're
I'm
probably
getting
not
too
quite
old
as
for
good.
this. If I wasn't wearing
That
150
looking
pounds
for
of
you
protective gear, I'd
eyeball
climb up there and throw you down.
style is pretty great.
I forgot about that. Okay, unfortunately, Parrish can't hear the things. He said, if I wasn't wearing 150 pounds of protective gear, I'd climb right up there and throw you down, kid.
If you're hurt, take it easy to regain health.
Your health is shown by those
Strawberries?
3 like heart berries at the top that are also skulls.
Switch small seeds with the D-pad.
So yeah, there you're switching between your inventory. So you've got another type of thing. So if you hit that info button, it'll tell you what that seed does. Sticky grass, gooey nodules, slow
That's
movement.
I like the show me everything button.
Click and hold right thumbstick to mega throw.
What's that noise? Gotta get my ears checked.
What?
That's your mega throw ability. Also a chance for you to use cool hovering animations. So that lets you.
Who's there? Probably just a stray cat.
So you gotta switch to your. Yeah.
Who's there? No
I don't know if you added enough.
I know you're there. I know
Yeah.
you're there.
The AI pathing in this is
Gotcha.
really complicated. It can handle a lot of stuff. Like they basically loan paths and can correct their pathing, which is not an easy thing to do. Like this has
Dynamic nodes.
very complex stealth AI
Interesting.
for a little pixel game.
I
And
was,
for a prototype, like there was more things we planned to do with that.
I was gonna say it's interesting. This is like your oldest thing, but I feel like this is like the most like complicated, like sort of like expressive art I've seen you do. Like usually you have this kind of very simple, minimal art.
Jump in
These
the
two things
shadows
might be
again.
linked, though.
Yeah.
This was realizing how much this would cost to do. Like,
Yeah.
Can you trowel up the lily pads?
No, you can't travel up lily pads.
That over there. I gotcha. Huh.
I wonder if this would. Did you ever think about doing this as like an open world kind of thing?
That would be even like it's doing this
Who's
type
there?
of like.
Gotta get
You'll
my
see how
ears
complex
checked.
this gets because this is just the beginning.
Yeah.
Who's
It
there?
is hard enough to
Probably
design
just a
small
stray cat.
levels for this.
Uh,
The idea would be to do larger ones for the final game. Like this was sort of like here's a puzzle, here's a puzzle. A full thing would be like multiple puzzles. But it was sort of very inspired by Metal Gear Solid, so it is kind of built around.
Can you mega throw the lily pads?
Yeah.
Ah, so you could get the thing started before you.
Yeah.
do the-
Wow.
Get a
So-
head start.
puzzling. Is there reason not to just like plant that entire
What's
area?
that
with
noise?
rice?
I heard something. Better investigate. Now I know I heard something. Huh.
Now the neighborhood has a spot of color.
I'm pretty sure I know which actress that is.
Kidnap someone and make them happy. Hakim Bey, Manifesto of Poetic Heroism. Okay, so here's the first. Fill citizens with cheerful insurrection to open the exit. So this is what the real levels would start to be about. Hold Y and read the top left tooltip for more info. Neighborhood happiness. Average happiness for all the citizens. Cheer them up to fill the meter past the dotted line. So I would, in a new version of this, I would just say like cheer up 5 citizens. It's way easier for
Yeah.
people to keep track of. Absolutely no planting.
Is he shirtless?
Commemorating the
Yes.
great plant poach of 2005, let nothing green remain. So that is General Bauhaus, the villain. Large seeds go on the right side of the inventory and take more time to plant. So you can see there on that side, you've got,
Ah,
you
yeah.
can hold up to 4 of them at a time. And these take more time to plant. So now you're planting over the government propaganda. You can't really see probably, especially on the
Look
stream.
at those petals.
But he's holding an axe in one hand and a small daisy in the other.
Amazing.
So here, if we watch,
The not only shirtless but barefoot
Whoa, pretty.
on the statue was an interesting choice also.
It's definitely a decision. And I respect that you made it.
so that one's been cheered up. So he's now a protester. So I'm not sure if the prototype had this, but the idea would be that if you planted those near government propaganda, they'd get a boost versus just planting them anywhere.
I like the idea of if you could get a big enough block of protesters, they start like fighting with the cops or something.
Oh, they
That
do.
was-
Oh yeah.
Wait and see.
Oh my god. Perennial screamers.
Yeah.
I see what you're doing here. And
If you make a mistake, use your trowel to dig up.
alright, well
Can we
let's
do that to get rid of lilies?
Okay, everyone. Wait for it.
Oh no.
It's turning red. It's shaking.
Wow.
And now he sees.
Wow, pretty.
I love systems.
Amazing.
So you've got another new plant.
Amazing.
Smells so good. Tasty smelling pollen attracts citizens.
I could really go for a revolution around now.
And this one, it looks like this one of the worst smelling flowers in the world.
The corpse flower?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, come on, unhappy guy. Come check out these sweet spores.
So as the happiness goes up, you hear more bird song also.
So this is like
Oh man,
opium hay fever?
curry.
He just loves the smell
So
of rotting meat.
pretty.
Don't judge him.
They all think it smells like something different, so he said curry.
So pretty.
So if you wanted to get bonus points, you'd sort of... If this was a
So
campaign, you'd get
pretty.
resources for converting more people before exiting.
Amazing.
And I think the UI will also...
I could really go for a revolution around now.
Yes, made it.
Does each person eventually just reach max happiness from
Yes.
the same plant, or do they need
They
multiple
need to be
plants?
plants in different spots, I believe,
Okay.
is how we solve that
Okay.
problem.
Right.
What is a weed? A plant whose virtues have not yet been discovered. Ralph Waldo Emerson. So we got a perennial screamer and the slow-mo ones.
Slow-mo?
Oh
The
yeah.
ones that create slow terrain.
Oh. Okay, I see how this is.
So here we're starting to get into the more puzzle-solving stuff. So making some slow terrain.
I do like this as a way of like teaching. Like I feel like this is actually like doing a great job at teaching how you like how you solve this puzzle.
Who's the investigate?
You have to scratch these pops to get past them.
Dispatch, there's a plant in my way. Please advise.
I still love the
Damn
fact that
kids
their
in their
word balloons are
seats.
actually
So now they
faces.
kick it every time it screams. And it gets
Huh?
damaged.
Better get my eyes checked.
So you can't just lock them away using, okay, this is really good.
Call in air support with tactical tree drops. Hold A, target dirt spot, and release to drop tree.
And you've got a perennial screamer. So you can see a giant tree in your inventory now.
And then you can hide in the tree, or is...
Yep.
Amazing.
No.
So you can do trees from a distance.
Oh, okay.
So you can do them like around corners and stuff.
I need a tree.
That's Big 10-4, 3 incoming.
So yeah, you literally have air support that can drop trees.
Let's let her investigate.
Oh my god.
So when you see that question mark, that's them updating their map.
Damn kids and their seeds. Huh.
So this is actually like
Whatever it was, it's
A stealth
gone
game where
now.
you're actually like manipulating the mobs like machines.
That's sort of like stealth. Oh, calling a tree drop from hiding to stun these guards. All
So-
assets are under
Better
lockdown
check
due to
it out.
criminal activity. So if you tried to go over there now, you just get mobbed by them.
Yeah, I was trying to remember if they had any reaction to the tree dropping near them.
Okay, ready?
Tree drop needed, over.
I copy.
Oh, that's good.
Good prep.
Now the neighborhood has a spot of cover.
That tactical tree drop.
That was one of the first ideas I had for the game. For myself, I hold no preference among flowers, so long as they're wild, free, spontaneous. Bricks to all greenhouses, black thumb and cutworm to the plotted plant. Edward Abbey, Desert Solitaire. That was one I think I just found on a quote site.
This level brings everything together you've learned so far. It has multiple solutions. Experiment.
So the game sort of ended up like, I had not played tower defense games. They were pretty new at the time this was being done as a genre, but it basically combines sort of aspects of tower defense with Metal Gear Solid style stealth.
How
You got
does the
tons of
tower
stuff.
defense come in?
The manipulating where enemies are and where they're going, and moving them around.
So you can't drop a tree next to a statue.
Partially because graphically that would be hard to do.
I was gonna say that
You can trigger a screamer again by running. Oh, okay.
I was gonna say like if you make system-y games, that's kind of like the holy grail is making a level with more than one solution.
Yeah, there's definitely like an issue we had that like made making levels hard is that the systems were a little bit too fragile. And I have some ideas of how we could have solved that. Because I wanted it to be a bit more open than a lot of these levels are.
What's that noise? Time to earn my paycheck.
Does he move slower through?
Gotcha.
Yeah, the slow
Oh.
grass. That's sort of the point of it.
I like how the dodging is such that you're basically certain to get by one guard, but you're not going to get by two.
If you make a mistake, use your trowel.
Okay, so I forget if I asked, can you trowel away lilies?
Petals.
No, you can't.
Whoa, pretty.
And I think these may be the only thing where I'm not sure if you can replant them. I can't remember. I think that may be there to stop a certain type of cheating.
Yeah, I think there was an early sign that said that they behave differently when you dig them up.
Yeah.
Wow,
That
pretty.
Oh, now he's heading around.
I really wouldn't have thought to compare this to tower defense because they
Amazing.
have the worst or least AI of any enemies.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have thought
Huh?
to compare
Yeah.
them to these guys who have so
Better
much.
check it out.
But there's sort of a like setting something up and waiting.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's based around much more complex AI.
Like, I feel like one of the aspects of tower, like one of the like defining aspects of tower defense is that, especially like really early ones, like ones built in like StarCraft engine or like Warcraft engine, were like about like exploiting
Who's
those games
So pretty.
pathing.
Yeah. No, that's true. I'm thinking more of stuff like later experiments with it, like Lock's Quest and
So
stuff like that.
pretty.
Which is a game that is a tower defense game where you can actually move a character
You know-
around as well.
Why shouldn't people plant if they want to?
You said it.
Dispatch. There's
Get your little sign up that says yay. this isn't reflected in the art in this, but if you see the concept art that we've got up on the website, the characters would actually change into punky and hippie outfits when they changed.
Please advise.
That's okay. I know how to.
So they're just ignoring those plants now that they've seen
Yep.
them.
Who's there? Damn kids. and
Okay, that wasn't what I was hoping would
There's
happen.
2 more spots. You can chain him along there. Oh, no, he's going back.
Aw, damn it. Hmm.
I know this wasn't here before.
This is where the game could benefit from a
Yeah.
fast forward key, where if you hide in safety and then fast forward time to see the results of a setup.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Better check it out.
I was gonna say, when I first heard the concept of this, I was actually like, this is this very this feels very video gamey. This is making me think of
Oh, whoops.
Gotcha.
this is making me think of Matt games from the '90s a lot. Where it's I think what I was expecting when I heard when I heard gardening is
There's
you're setting things up and then waiting for them to happen, or
Where'd she
having to repeatedly
go?
revisit a spot or something.
Gotcha. Huh.
Where it's doing this thing of creating a setup and then waiting for the actors to have a particular reaction to them. That feels more like the gardening concept.
Did you ever... One thing that immediately occurs to me is...
You'll be the
having
first
something
one against the
where-
wall, buddy.
There.
Nice.
What's that noise? Who's there?
Having
Better invest.
He's angry
cracked
now.
cement that you could plant really strong plants in and then
Yeah.
crack it out.
No, that was
Oh,
something
that's
that
cool.
we had.
Cause I was like, I can't remember if I'm
Ideas
I can't remember if I'm remembering
Flowers.
something you told me or just as soon as I see plants and concrete.
You
Those plants
need
you
to
can
be
tear
really
it through that
careful around the
concrete.
red
See
ones
you.
because they're angry and more aggressive and fast. That is one of the problems once you start cheering up the citizens is that they start pissing off
Provoking
the.
Whatever it was.
Can that ever be?
Say that while I'm beating your face.
Can that ever be good?
Yeah, no, it sometimes can
Whoa!
be.
You're real fast now.
Yeah,
Damn.
part of it was to have sort of a sense of rising action as the game progressed. So as you're finishing up a level, it's becoming a bit more dangerous. You're gonna have to watch out for stuff a bit more.
Okay.
Which is the Jet Grind radio
Nice
influence.
I was gonna say, is it possible that the screener plants
There
are
we go.
actually preventing you from hitting the goal?
No, it's,
Pretty. Yeah, you'll be the first one against the
It's all
wall,
coming
buddy.
together.
Why you?
Yeah, I guess it's a little unfortunate that
Jumping at shadows
I knew how to set
again.
that up, but it just didn't
That
quite
there.
happen.
there
good
was an
enough.
alternate solution there. So
I
if you
figured.
put screamers in those spots, you would have strung it along around the corner.
That makes
Is
sense.
that the sweet sound of revolution?
I feel
think my job here is done.
Gardening's civil and social, but it wants the vigor and freedom of the forest and the outlaw. Thoreau was great for quotes.
They made a whole game that was just walk around and listen to Thoreau quotes.
How many levels
Sometimes loading all the cops is a good idea. I don't remember, I think there's 13, and they get longer and longer as you go.
Oh wow, you did a lot for this.
There's, like I say, this is going to be half an hour to an hour.
Okay.
And we didn't get some entire systems in that we have planned. We had a whole thing involving electricity that could be used to get rid of.
I guess I'm just
cameras.
surprised that this much went into the prototype.
Well, we had funding for prototyping it,
Uh-huh.
and we were trying to shop it around. So we're constantly we may as well improve it some more. So here you've got a bunch of guards in the area that you need to plant.
Huh?
Yeah.
Jumping at shadows again.
I'm intrigued by the idea of getting the power converter overcome with vines so that
The goal was to have Tesla pines, which were electrical trees, and you could basically chain lightning sources to incapacitate the cameras permanently, or to create threats for the rival guards.
So if you made this game today, would gentrification be a plot point?
Probably.
Also, what was the planner who put that CCTV camera there trying to protect against?
This.
Huh. Well, I guess they had their threat model down.
They just get paid per camera.
That sounds plausible.
What's that noise? I know I heard something.
So this is where I wonder.
So here they don't know the path that you're making yet.
Oh, that's interesting.
So they're going to go the long way around
Nice.
to
I was hoping
investigate
for.
that faraway camera. And they've got to go over all that slow grass.
Well, that was a waste.
Now, whether the fact you triggered two things is going to mess with them, I don't know.
Look
Yeah,
at
it
those
did.
pedals.
So you could have gotten them farther along.
Amazing.
I like how like
You
this-
can run back to the other
Yeah.
one that's in the lily pad.
But you can basically hang out at the exit now.
Yep.
Look at those
I
pedals.
like how there's that like incentive to like plant just a carpet of slow grass.
What is that metal? A golden Death Star?
It's a
So pretty.
I think
on,
the
on
general,
general
guy.
he's got a bunch of he's got a very humorous
Yes,
metal
made
slate.
You guys in your stupid hat.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah, it might be a golden Death Star.
Abstract.
I can't remember. That's Eric
Abstract
Kim did the
toilet,
artwork
golden Death Star,
for
and
these characters.
Inukshuk maybe.
The path of the propagandist of social justice is strewn with thorns. Anarchism and other essays.
So this is where it occurs to me that
New
for,
plant, thorn bushes.
for the second time in a month or so, while going to this stream where we will be in front of this camera, I have gotten the noisiest snacks imaginable, and now I can't eat them because I'll just be crunching directly into this microphone.
Thorn vines. Painful spines make everyone avoid walking through them. Okay.
So you've got these people going back and forth.
Watch people's routine carefully, then block their path.
So what we want to do in the full game of this was have actual things that they were doing on either side. So maybe have them walking between two drink stations, or some other thing that would sort of give some sort of reason for what they were going to and where
Yeah.
their waypoints were. But we didn't have that.
Drinks machine and recycling bin.
Yeah, something like that. So there'd be a bit of motivation and a bit more sign of like where the waypoints were. And this is again working with the fact that our AI system could actually handle routing and creating new maps.
Yeah, see, he was thinking
Yeah.
about whether to be able to get through there, but then he decided he could.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's net. I think adding the little question mark.
And I don't think it
Adds
actually
so
takes that much time.
No,
You did
no.
that so that the player,
Yeah,
the player would understand what was happening.
Exactly.
Yeah. Which is a really big problem. Like complicated. I think we were talking about this before the stream
Yeah.
started. Complicated AI where the player doesn't actually have a good mental model of how complicated it is or isn't.
Which is why for prototyping this we had to actually have voice acting and like little symbols that tell you stuff.
Yeah.
And if you hadn't told me that that's what it was doing, I think I would have read it as him noticing the vines.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
actually doubles as making them seem more aware of visually what's happening.
Oh, this is gonna force them to go by where you're
Yeah,
gonna be
so
playing,
now they're finding a new route. And now you've got this problem that he's like patrolling those two state things. With the guard, you don't really need to have a motivator because it's just like, yeah, he's
Yeah.
like checking out the statues. That's his job.
Xander is suggesting that next week I will bring a salad to snack on, but it will turn out as garnished with perennial screamers.
Always a problem.
It's like, man, I asked
get
them not to
that
put perennial
over there.
screamers in this.
But they're so tasty.
Do you still have any thorns left?
Oh.
Oh, it's pretty good.
I don't, but I
Huh?
know where to get some.
Time to earn my paycheck. Huh. It's so pretty. Whatever it was.
Wow, pretty.
Gone now.
It's
Amazing.
so pretty.
I do it from the other side, maybe.
Yeah.
Amazing.
You also have a way to draw him into the center.
Amazing.
See, he can walk through the.
What's that noise? Gotta get my ears
I
checked.
really like how it
Just
draws
do
the
it
line
there.
of
I
where
think
saw
you're
you.
overcomplicating.
Jumping in shadows again. What's that noise? Gotta get my ears checked. Who's there?
Maybe need to do some stealthing.
Gotta get my ears checked. Who's there? Probably just a stray cat.
Nice, yeah.
Who's there? Probably just a stray cat.
So yeah, now his route will just be along that top bit, I think. If I remember correctly.
Unless he sees you through the.
Yeah.
So pretty. Wow, pretty. I feel
I don't know if
great.
this, I think that these are our stops
What the
before
general
getting to this
says,
level
I'm
when
going to start
you
my
should
own
have
garden.
More than the last time I played it, because I hadn't quite
Wow,
gotten to the point of
I feel
realizing
like
how
overthrowing the current
the
social
player
order.
paths.
Now the neighborhood has a spot of color.
Screamer to screamer. Ah! Wilhelm.
Great. Great.
I had forgotten about that joke. You know the drill. Cheer 'em up.
Is this level's name a David Bowie reference?
What was it called?
Screamer to Screamer.
You know, Major Tom's perennial screamer. So you've got path blockers. Do you have screamers yet? No, you don't.
No, I don't.
Being guarded.
And there's some sort of.
And no lily pads. Oh wait, no, there is.
Yeah, there.
Which lilies? Whatever, I don't think I can. Oh wait, no, I can't.
Yeah.
This is really making me think of Ambrosia Software.
Okay, so check this.
Who's
You
there?
see that? They go around the long way.
Nice.
I know you're. Huh.
I just noticed the sound when they turn off the alarm.
So one of them just figured
Oh,
out the
shit.
new route. You can run past. You got time.
I like how real it is that your primary difficulty in this game is that they've paved over all the dirt.
I wasn't expecting it to go off so soon.
Yeah, definitely another time where it'd be nice to have like a fast forward, see what the current situation does,
Yeah.
and you can tweak it.
Oh no.
Shit!
I know you're there.
Oh man.
It's interesting how, like, you're simultaneously manipulating two bits of
I
path.
know this wasn't here before.
Yeah, no, we had this sort of idea that we want things to sort of
Don't
be
see anything
multi-use. Like
suspicious.
the screamers attract the cops, but also move away the.
Yeah, no, that's a good.
Yeah, but then, like, some of the things you're like... It's interesting how you
So just,
can't...
if you stand near it, you'll
Yeah.
get it going sooner.
It's interesting how you can't act on the citizens without also acting on the cops.
You can't just shove them.
There's like a...
Damn kids and their
Oh,
secret.
dear.
Ow!
No screaming.
Gotcha. Huh.
So that
Oh my
might-
god, does it
Does it reduce neighborhood happiness if they witness police brutality?
No.
Okay.
They love police brutality.
It has to be something that can actually constantly increase, otherwise you can have unsolvable in really bad ways. Especially since they also cause police brutality. So you can see you've got one more health, but it's now coming back.
Okay.
They turn into little skulls. So you almost got the solution, but not quite.
Yeah.
Does he actually go near that unplotted spot on his route, or not?
Let's investigate.
Because maybe if you block that middle passageway, he'll go near the other spot. And then
Yeah, that's
scream
what I was
him
thinking.
along.
Whatever it was, it's gone now.
And it's deep.
I stopped. Gotcha. Huh. I'm getting
In
too
answer
old
to,
for
are
this.
you eating mouths if you eat a screamer?
Yes.
Definitely. I think you can see
You're
a tongue
eating
in there.
delicious mouths. So yeah, noticed changing path.
Definitely that is something that, like, if there was more communication on
The pathing?
what the
Yeah.
pathing was. And I feel like you said, like something really simple, like.
So there's
you
a
know,
chain happening now.
Yep.
And the fact that they're
Wow.
they are irritated by noises help make that happen.
I feel like it's, I mean,
Hey, calm down, guy. Check out some flowers. They're really cool.
the spaces are simple enough that I feel like the pathing...
Look at those
you can-
petals.
It doesn't seem that hard to predict the pathing.
I still think like pathing points
We
that
could
were,
really
like,
go for a revolution
visually
around
distinct.
now.
Or the ability to, if you like loiter next to someone, for it to like show their path or something like that.
Yeah, the problem...
Golden bells. The temple bell stops, but I still hear the sound coming out of the flowers.
Wow.
Basho.
Was that one a haiku in the original?
Yeah. So new plant,
Golden
golden
bells.
bells.
Uh,
So select golden bells. Golden bells ring loudly when disturbed. Walk to avoid ringing them.
What effect does wind have?
oh.
What if you just what?
What effect does wind have?
Is there wind?
Not yet.
Ah.
Every single level, there's been like, when you ask what the UI means, there's a thing that says wind indicator. No arrow means no wind.
Okay. Well, yeah, I guess it would definitely affect pollen. That's the only thing I can think so far.
We'll get to it. God animating all of these plants growing. And at this distance you can
Who's
hardly
there? Now I
see.
know I heard something.
I love how completely indifferent that the
Wind chimes,
He's
motherfuckers.
very downtrodden.
Huh.
I like how
Oh,
you
pretty.
did a couple of like very large levels, and now here's just a very small one.
Yeah, we sort of did like, here's
You're
everything
amazing.
you've learned, now go back, learn some new
Don't
things with
say
simple
anything
things,
suspicious.
and then go big.
It's so
I think we did a good job of
Who's
taking
there?
what we had for the prototype and turning it into something that was fun to play.
Yeah.
wow. I feel like overthrowing the current social order.
Well, that was a waste.
Look at those
What's
petals.
Just a stray cat.
Okay, so they tell each other that it's just me, and they don't
Well,
get into a loop of listening to
that
the
was a
other
waste.
ones.
Yeah.
Which is too bad, because that would have been kind of funny.
I think my
Work
Yeah, we did a bunch of stuff to make sure you wouldn't get endless loops, because that wouldn't be fun or interesting. I'd rather have roses on my table than diamonds on my neck. Emma Goldman.
Just don't mix it up and put roses on your neck.
She lived here in Toronto and apparently hated it.
Huh.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah, no, I think Toronto was especially boring then.
Yeah, no, that's.
But you know, wasn't like the US where they were arresting her.
Sorry about that, by the way.
So what do you have for this one?
I have
Screamers,
Scream.
Smells so
Raw.
good, and bells. And it looks like, oh, and some ornamentals, of course. I just realized what the solution is because it's been long enough that I've forgotten my solutions. That's good.
Yeah. Okay. I see how this goes.
It is neat to see this like long enough that I've forgotten some of the puzzles.
Who's there?
That sends him up through the golden bells.
Dispatch, there's a plant in my way. Please advise. Amazing. I'm in a shadow
So
again.
pretty.
So
Someone's
pretty.
baking pancakes.
You need it there because it's what's gonna get.
Amazing.
Whoa,
Yeah, right.
pretty. You
Yeah.
got bells again.
Amazing. It's
I
so
do feel like the downside to this whole thing was that like the number of times that you've got like the correct answer set up,
Huh?
that doesn't actually.
That's what I mean by things being fragile. But that was the correct thing and it worked. Like that.
Yep.
You just need to be able to find
Who's
it.
there? That over there. Damn kids. Gotta get my ears checked.
Like in this case,
Whoa,
it's
pretty.
exactly what it's supposed to.
I
Yeah.
know, this feels like a work.
Don't see anything
I'm
suspicious.
thinking about the whole like.
It smells like strawberries.
I almost wonder if
Better
the
check
solution
it
is
out.
something kind of Zachtronicsy, where like not just it's you like a speed up button, but actually like it detects. You know what? This solution is going to work eventually,
Whatever it was.
and then
it's
like
gone now. What's that noise?
it just like runs at warp until it works.
The problem with that is
What's
that
there?
it
Jump
messes
in
with
the
the
showers
upper part
again.
that works
Gotta
well,
get
which is
my
stuff
ears
going
checked.
wrong,
Please
and
advise.
having to do
Oh.
stealth.
Yeah.
See?
Now,
Yeah, since
the
it can't
neighborhood
predict
has a
what
spot of
mistakes
color.
you might make,
Whatever
just
it
just
was,
mess it up,
my
not
ears.
realizing that it works.
Yeah.
That's why I think like the fact that you go into a corner and
Sleeping
hit.
poppies. They now came upon more and more of the big scarlet poppies and fewer of the other flowers, and soon they found themselves in the midst of a great meadow of poppies. L. Frank Baum, The Wizard of Oz.
I would have gone for the quote, "Opium is the opiate of the masses."
Spice is the spice of life.
Sleeping poppies release soporific pollen if disturbed.
I'm not sure about the decision to use a word that most people won't understand in your extremely important.
Yeah.
I would be more worried about it if sleeping wasn't already in the
Yes.
That is true.
I feel like that solves the problem. This statue protected by electronic anti-plant surveillance. So the problem here is if you try to plant, you'll get all of those cops breathing down your neck.
So who was the team on this?
It was me and Andrew.
Okay.
So Andrew doing the coding and myself doing the art and like main game design, but like of course we're both
Yeah.
feeding into that.
Oh, I shouldn't have pulled an all-nighter last night.
Things
How
make me
many
fall
barks
asleep.
do you have?
A lot. We spent a day recording barks.
Okay, they don't make you go to sleep though.
Shouldn't have pulled that all-nighter last night.
As an anarchist, she's already on too many drugs to.
It's so pretty. Amazing. Whoa, pretty.
I like how the.
Those petals.
I
I
like
feel
how the
fantastic.
CCTVs only are afraid of you.
Yeah.
Like either like some kind of like face
You're
detecting
dumb.
thing where it's just like, well, they don't have purple hair, so they're probably okay.
Amazing.
Yes, made it.
I do feel like this is kind of like predictive
I
of some of the
feel
other Spooky Squid
great.
stuff that came later in terms of it being about like.
Strong winds. Everybody talks about the weather, but nobody does anything about it.
Like there's actually not.
So now you have wind direction.
Oh, okay.
There's actually fairly
Warning,
little.
citizens. Weather report calls for strong wind from the southwest. Sorry, what were you saying?
I was just gonna say it's interesting how few ingredients there are in this. Like you've only got the two human types, and then most of you've got like 2 human types and like 3 types of important tile, and like almost all the complexity is coming out of either interactions or just more types of seeds.
Yeah.
And even those seeds only really introduce interactions by how they interact with the 2 actors.
No, it's very, very AI driven.
Oh, it's from the
Emotions.
Southwest?
Yeah.
I feel like that arrow feels like it's going the wrong direction for that.
I've always found the way winds are described counterintuitive. I always want them to be described by where they're blowing to.
Oh no, it's towards the south. Oh, okay.
I think that may be actually wrong.
Yeah.
I guess you've actually got westerly is the word to use.
Let's towards the southwest, not I did it wrong.
Yeah.
Whoops. Oh well.
The arrow's good.
Yeah, the arrow.
Yeah, no, the arrow's right.
Wind blows pollen through all walls in the prototype. Final game will have a variety of wall types. The idea here is that there'd be grates and such that you could send it through, or low walls, but tall walls would block.
I'm imagining this is like some kind of like TTC signage for like, no, pass-throughable walls will be implemented by September 2018.
Do I have lily pads?
Not yet.
Huh. Oh, is that... Oh, that's ground. I see. Oh!
Yeah. You
Nice.
can plant a field of poppies and then...
Who's there? Gotta get my ears checked.
Yeah, just get the whole thing.
Is this the only cards in the Right.
Huh.
I really like when all the sound effects go off at the same time.
Whatever it was, it's gone now.
Stream is super choppy again.
Fresh brewed coffee.
Why is this happening? Check if anyone's phone reconnected.
Hurry! Fresh brewed coffee. Amazing.
Mine isn't.
So pretty.
Let me disconnect the PS2.
Pretty.
Just in case.
Huh. I don't see it
The like
that over
infinite
there.
number of things that could be deciding to download in the background is not great.
So I feel like I must be imagining this, but it seems like the moment you hit the button, it went to green. That can't be right, but it felt like it.
I wonder if everything's also. It's a Sunday night. Great time to update. So how we? Where are we at?
Strawberries. Strawberries. Wow, pretty. It smells like strawberries. Cookies.
I think they do them in a water.
So pretty.
No, because it looks like they do. They do like to move from one to the next.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Whoa, pretty.
Oh, once they've smelled it, it's out of their memory for a while. There's a cooldown before it'll happen again.
That's really good.
There's a lot of to get this type of thing to work, you have to have a lot of stuff in the
Petals.
systems that
Fresh brewed
stops
coffee.
loops from happening.
I wonder if it would make sense for the I wonder if it would make sense for the if it's born on the wind for them to just walk toward the source, which is just
The general says
Is that the sweet sound of revolution? I think
Oh,
my job here is
pretty.
done.
In this case, that would not be good. You want them to go to the
Yeah, you want them
specific
to actually
source.
figure out
I
where.
see.
Hellavines. When the wind of change blows, some people build walls, others build windmills. Chinese proverb. Okay, so there's more than 13 levels. walking through golden bells. So yeah, just
Isn't the only
reminding
way
you.
to bring them?
You plant helivines.
Generates a wind that blows pollen and disturbs nearby plants.
And you got a
Tree
Got a
Yeah.
tree drop.
what's the solution for this again? Oh, I know what it is.
Huh.
I think I got it too.
There's something I'm missing.
I think you want to leave an empty spot there.
Do I need to though? I feel like
You might be able to run back fast enough, but I don't know.
I feel like I'm gonna hold on to it.
Can a girl get a tree drop?
I read you. The big broccoli is falling.
I forgot how many bucks we had for that. I
What's
like
there?
Shit.
Yeah, I got one.
Yeah, not enough.
On the other hand, now you've got enough you can dodge.
Huh.
Oh, I was hoping he was going to attract the guy with
Yeah.
Whatever it was, it's gone now.
Okay.
the... Is he not close enough to hear?
No, I think the police
Yeah.
the police stay in communication so they don't.
No, I think.
No, they can actually ring it so that the other police will hear.
Why didn't that trigger?
Because you're walking, and walking through it doesn't trigger it.
Yeah.
Who's there?
There we go.
There we go. Yeah,
I just need to do that one.
That is not the optimal solution.
yeah.
Hmm.
Because they'll come back to you.
Yeah.
But if you
That was a waste. Huh.
Yeah, like this whole thing, like,
Wow,
Wow.
that was a waste.
but now you've got to get past them to get back to
Amazing.
your tree. Except you managed to do it faster. Okay, so a really important thing that you need to learn, go back there. You're gonna have to run past them quickly.
I feel
Gotcha.
fantastic.
I
Gotcha.
see you.
Gotcha.
Huh.
Plant the helivine near the golden bells. That was what that was.
Yeah, no, I figured.
But do you need
Yeah.
to?
It is worth doing just to see how it works.
I mean, I figured it'd be
Yeah.
something like that.
Will they remember?
I
it?
wasn't wearing 150 pounds of protective gear. I'd climb up there and throw you down, kid.
You'll be the first one against the wall, buddy.
And now that one's taunting the other one.
Who's there?
So wait, did the Helivines?
What's that
Oh
noise?
no.
I gotcha.
Nice.
Huh.
The dodges seem really satisfying.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I feel like it's.
Hmm.
I don't know. I feel like this is like the big thing in stealth games, right? Is like what is the failure loop?
Yeah.
And I think like the answer is like you didn't quite like get to one.
We wanted it to
Those
be
guys
something
are
that's a bit
suspicious.
looser in terms
Yeah.
of being able to get back into the game rather than just fail completely.
Well,
So
I feel like that's like a big problem. Metal Gear Solid, like
Yeah.
the first 3 Metal Gear Solids especially, like have this huge problem where like once you like get caught, it's like you just have to wait 3 minutes to wait on an alert,
Yeah.
which is just really
That was a waste.
shit. This is the worst possible path.
Another thing that maybe could have used
run
a fast
quick and
forward.
get the
Who's there?
Gotcha.
Huh.
Well, at least they're in the same place now.
Yeah.
yeah, what you didn't see is that they basically would beat the shit out of the helicopter thing until it stopped spinning.
Oh wow.
What
Does the
does that
helicopter?
say? Ornamentals work only half as well without propaganda.
Oh, okay.
What's the I'm sorry, I don't remember if I said this out loud. Do the helicopters do anything other than set bells?
Yeah, they
Just first
They-
pollen.
they create wind.
Oh, okay. Moving away or just?
Your helmet
Yeah.
sucks. Better get my eyes checked.
Oh, and there's like a little wall there. It's interesting.
It's not close enough.
Yeah.
What does it say?
The sign said that.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
oh, you've got a perennial screamer.
Yep, that's what I was about to. Do the screams carry on the wind?
No, but they get agitated by the. Oh no! Don't.
Uh-oh.
Shit.
Oh, no.
Ow!
No.
Hopefully he'll be interested
I'm
in
getting
streaming.
too old for this. Who's there?
Yeah, if
Yeah.
you didn't do that, he wouldn't stay with it long enough for you to get all of these plants done.
So
This one.
Also, he would have followed you out of that.
So,
Yeah.
like once you have like one plant for the guy to look at, is there any incentive to do the other 8?
Yeah, he was saying
Whoa,
that the
pretty.
What's that noise?
that they can only be cheered up so much by any individual.
Wow.
Dispatch.
Yeah,
there's a
so
plant
you've got to have.
Is that based on a cooldown or is it an explicit limit?
It's each one will only do it one time for each
So
location,
pretty.
What's that noise?
and you can't dig them up and replant them. So there was a sign telling you that you needed to have specifically, you had to have twice as many to be able to cheer up
Yeah.
a citizen.
Amazing.
Now the
As I said, I don't
neighborhood
think it
has
should
a
have been an
spot of
analog
color.
meter like we did. I think just having like cheer up this many citizens. To overcome the fragrance of flowers is a delectable form of defeat. To overcome by Hellavines 2.
Okay.
Oh, that's interesting. The directional wind is really good.
Now time for the crash.
When you mentioned that the cameras do recognize it, you started picturing having like a little like cartoon thing pop up with someone looking at a CCTV monitor and like shouting into a telephone.
That would actually be great to have like in the top corner or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Be like
Yeah.
controls like whenever stuff happens, you see
Yeah.
the person. You can also use that as a cutaway for the whoever's dropping trees for you.
Time to earn my paycheck. Huh. Whatever it was, it's gone now.
So those are now getting boosted. The
Yeah.
distance that the smell so good has.
It definitely feels like this would benefit from
Raspberry
being able to like move the camera.
Yeah. I
It's
can't
so
remember if we had a button
pretty.
to let you do that.
Amazing.
One thing, like there was a brief period where there were systems where this would make sense to design for, but I think a version on like a Vita or on something else that has both controls and a touch screen,
Yeah.
where you could touch the plants to activate
So
them,
pretty.
so you'd have a bit more of an active way to do things.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
That was one of the ways I sort of thought of like being able to overcome some of the
Yes.
systems being a little bit fragile around routing.
I wonder if you could do this as a
Final level. There was
Ooh.
always a plant tailored to the conditions of your battlefield. Choose your weapon well and it will grow and flourish. Richard Reynolds on Guerrilla Gardening.
I like having the specifically guerrilla
Oh, wow.
gardening quotes be the first and last.
Yeah, it's good.
Did you contact the author of that book about this?
I think he followed me on Twitter, if I remember first.
Nice.
Okay, so nothing surprising.
Also, this is back when it actually felt good to have someone following you on Twitter.
Yeah.
Ha!
So there's a whole bunch of puzzles, and this is the first thing that's kind of like what we'd hope final levels would be like, where it's like a larger area with multiple puzzles that could end up interacting with each other.
Do you think you could do this game as like a pure touchscreen thing?
It was mouse driven, so like
Mm.
it could possibly be done that way. I kind of dislike that way of moving things around, but it worked well. Like,
One thing that's nice about
So these are 3 across. Shit.
One thing that's nice.
You have foreseen the thing that I was thinking of doing. Blocking with, putting them to sleep here, then blocking them with vines here.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wait. Actually. Okay.
What's that noise?
No.
Jumping at shadows again.
What if you set off the?
Yeah.
I guess setting it off the
Check
alarm.
it out. Free. Huh.
Oh my god,
Huh.
that's an enormous help to your cops.
Huh.
Damn it, it's not enough though.
It's not
You're
all
hoping to
the
get
cops.
all of them. I think I see
Something
a
suspicious.
very key problem in this plan.
Oh,
Shit.
Huh.
Did they do eventually wake up?
I don't think I ever saw someone try this particular
Wait, do
one.
you have a tree?
Oh fuck! They blocked. No.
No tree drop.
Damn it. Well,
If
shit.
you can duck past this nonsense. Wow, this is like a fascinating stalemate. The anarchist.
Well, shit.
You're,
How do I reset a level?
you're the girl at the center of Omelaz.
I don't remember
Oh,
what the button is to
Maybe
reset.
there's a hole you can sneak through there.
Shit!
What
No!
did you just do?
I just hit quit.
There's
Do you remember,
there's a cheat key to get us to that
Okay.
spot. It's at the very beginning.
Yeah. Why did you map that button to do that?
What was the button?
It was back.
I think because we'd have this in a it
Oh,
shows with
you
a
were-
menu where you could play other games.
Shit. That makes sense. Alright, let's try that again.
Okay, skip this level H. Oh, whoops, what? What oh, wait. Why is there two versions?
Uh-oh.
Java?
Java! What if you're running this twice at once by now? Because it didn't quit before.
No,
It did quit, but one part of it didn't quit. So we might have two sounds going right now. Okay, skip this level is H.
Okay.
So 15 levels. So yeah, it seems like we thought of your idea. You do have sleeping poppies.
Yep. Just maybe don't use too many of them.
Deep concentration. Just the right amount.
What's that noise?
You specifically made yourself like an exit path.
Look at those pedals.
Looks like you may have been lucky and one
Whoa,
of them got
pretty.
stuck on another one.
Oh no, yeah. Whoops.
So,
Black block tactics for dealing with cops. Trick one into clipping inside of another one.
oh no, they managed to get out of it.
Huh? That okay. Jumping at shadows
Oh
again.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can sort of get through it, just hooks you, so it's not a great.
So pretty.
Don't do it all the time. Don't try to live inside a thing.
Just a sometimes strat.
What's that noise?
What?
That was very awake.
She gave me the
Oh
slip.
no.
He's immune for a little bit after you do it.
Shit.
Again, like we made
Yeah,
sure
that's
that
good.
It was hard
Whatever
to.
it was, it's gone now.
You could exploit things in the way that we wanted you to exploit, but not easily create cheap exploits.
Is that actually in your interest?
I think so.
Only time
Yeah.
will tell.
Who's there?
Oh, it's gonna just keep attracting people without you even having to go over.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's why, like, you can sort of do manual stuff, but often it's better to set up a system so
Yeah.
that you've got.
I was looking at that, like, that single flower tile and being like, that single patch of dirt and being like, there must be something that they intended to go here.
Huh. I would have thought I would have screamed at that guy.
It'll eventually
He's
be.
thinking about it.
Time to earn my paycheck.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Who's there?
Shit. Hey guys, what's going on?
I don't see anything suspicious.
That's
Well,
definitely
It's
one
all
way to
going
deal with
according
that.
to plan. Oh, you got the helicopter now. I thought it didn't have one.
Shit.
Oh, and a tree.
Huh?
Shit.
Time to earn my paycheck.
So something that, like, we wanted but wasn't
Oh,
in the
gotcha.
prototype would be that,
Huh.
like,
Better get my eyes
those
checked.
big alarms would go a wide range, but they
Too
wouldn't
old
necessarily
for
fill
this.
the entire level.
Mm.
It's like here, there's definitely, like, the chance that you might be able to cheap things out by just getting them all in one spot.
Yeah.
Where would you say is the optimal place to plant your tree?
I'm looking at that choke point right in the middle of the level. Or right in
Yeah.
the middle of what you can see at the moment. This looks like another potential trap zone.
What's that? Better investigate.
Can a girl get a tree drop?
I read you. The big broccoli is falling.
Oh, missed.
Damn it.
Got someone, but
Oh,
they're
it may
stuck
have
on each
pushed
other?
them slightly. It may
Shit.
have caused
Oh,
a.
no.
Let's give him some more land to stand
Yeah.
on.
There we go. Yeah. At least one of them.
Is he just lost over?
He may be, like, we may not have accounted for
Gets pushed into the water a little.
Yeah.
pushed
Oh, no,
flower
he's okay.
water lilies. Yeah.
What's that noise?
Christina's discovered a speedrun strat.
I see.
Like, it's strong, but, like, it's
Who's there?
definitely not
Gotta get my
perfect.
eyes
'Cause, like, it's
checked.
really hard to get that type of thing perfect. Like, AAA games get that stuff wrong all
Oh,
the
yeah.
time.
So we need some good smell and we need it to travel a long way now.
Which way's the wind blowing?
Wherever you want.
Who's there? Jumping at shadows again.
Fucking clouds.
So pretty.
Smells like strawberries.
Amazing. Amazing.
Just hiding in my tree.
Great. Wow, pretty.
Fascists.
That over there. Free.
Hate
I
you
feel
guys in your
fantastic.
stupid hats.
Shadows again.
Gonna start a riot.
Shit.
General positivity riot.
Unfortunately, I need that other guy to get attracted over there.
Yeah, so if we had a rule that, like, while you were in hiding, you could also
Oh, it
fast
smells
forward
like
time.
Yeah, that would be
Strawberries.
good.
It was just something that was not. Like,
And,
we
like,
figured
right
out once we had the prototype that was something that was needed, but didn't have time to.
What's that
know you're
noise?
there.
So pretty.
Nicely done.
Is that the sweet sound of revolution? I think my job here is done.
Nice.
So this is sort of what we wanted to do in the final
Oh,
version.
wow.
New plants, Tesla pines, living topiary, climbing vines, Venus mantraps, and more. Improved animation, sad citizens slouch, happy citizens strut, Molly runs, sneaks and climbs, all with smoother, more fluid motion.
But look at that facade. That would take forever.
Yeah. Story mode.
It's
Follow
so
the
pretty though.
exploits of Molly and a motley crew of gardening dissidents as they fight against a repressive regime with game story sequences and comic-style cutscenes illustrated by graphic novelist Eric Kim. New enemies, including police dogs, riot police, elite officers, and Bauhaus's henchmen, the fearsome ministers of the state. So there's like a bunch of the concept art and stuff for this. I'll post a link to the Guerrilla Gardening Memorial page where we put up all of a bunch of the dev stuff. A rich pixel art city, explore the city's varied neighborhoods from the rickety slums to the glitzy shopping arcades of the ultra-rich, to the stark concrete of the government districts, and plant all over them.
I think I found the expensive part.
Yeah. Larger levels featuring varied multi-height terrain, including stairs, canals, bridges, fences, other environmental details, interactive elements including electronic checkpoints and seed sniffers. There's definitely, like, now knowing what I know, there are things I would cut from this and things I would keep in terms of, like, what stuff would be a lot of work without a lot of payoff.
I mean, I feel like you did in fact have like this sort of variety of environments in like you're planning for Dark Heart though.
Yeah, no, like Dark Heart though also did not do isometric. Isometric is really expensive as a style because it's hard to get right. It's time consuming. You have to show, instead of just showing the front facade of things, you need to draw two facades.
Yeah, is it just the like on the perspective? Is it like the pixel size?
It's slightly lower res, yeah.
Oh yeah, Dark Heart art was also a lot smaller res. Like this is really high res. It's really complicated art.
Yeah, I
but
guess
the
it's like
nice
not
thing
very scaled for.
The really interesting thing is I feel like the most expensive thing here is like a variety of buildings, but that adds nothing really. Like it's
It also has a lot.
At that res, and Dark Heart.
No, what I mean is that like it doesn't. I feel like that doesn't really change the game at all.
It doesn't change the game, but it changes the experience of the game. If you feel like you're exploring new areas, that means a lot. And it means a lot also in terms of like if you're trying to sell a game, having a variety of screenshots.
It's really important. Like, this is a problem that I often have is like all my screenshots look the goddamn same because like there's just like not a lot of like even if it's actually like as a player experiencing it, you're getting something very different out of it. It's not necessarily conveyed in your screenshots.
No, Russian Subway Dogs, as much as we did a bunch of different backgrounds, has the same sort of problem because they were all subways. Whereas, like, yeah, like that would be like totally worth it. The thing that was expensive was actually like, yes, doing the environments would be expensive, but also just the animations of characters that size,
shrinking
and with
the
those
people,
proportions.
Especially if in Dark Heart allowed you to basically remove their arms.
Yes, no.
Which is a huge savings in animation.
No, because then we can do a
Yeah,
bunch
you're
of
doing
stuff.
like a lot of paper dolling with those.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah, and a lot of squashing and stretching while moving an object around.
But I
Yeah,
also feel
doing like human proportions with a fairly heavy pixel density is just slow. Like
as much as like this looks great, this is really cute. I still love this, but
it would be very expensive to complete the game at this quality.
and I do feel like having a lot of different types of buildings is really important to like make it feel like a city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like you
yeah,
did
but
have
like, does the sorry, I'm being contrarian, but like, does the city in this game world feel like a city? Because like it felt like Houston to me.
that like what everything in the prototype isn't what the final game was going to look like. So
I do want to know
like this is sort of what we were planning for.
Wow.
So something that
that's
really
gorgeous.
did feel like you were like exploring different places as you went around.
It's also noisy though. I feel like I would have had trouble necessarily telling like, well, can you interact with the air conditioner somehow? Like
I feel like you'd probably learn that pretty quickly.
I did like the prototype just in that it was like it was very clean. There was nothing unnecessary on screen. This is gorgeous though.
The thing with that is it also like makes puzzles a lot more obvious. Whereas when you've got sort of more of that noise, trying to figure out what the answer is becomes more interesting.
And the dirt is still very, like, it is very clear what is dirt and what is not dirt. and I'm pretty clear
Mm.
on what is like blocking terrain.
The loose areas around the dirt is that feels good. That's really
I also like what I like about this is that like there's more areas of dirt that are like less obvious, whereas like a lot of the ones in the prototype, it feels like
If
okay,
it's
this
there,
is
you
part
need
of
to
a
use
puzzle.
it. Yeah.
Oh, that also feels like some of the areas around condo complexes I've seen in Toronto of just like huge unnecessary paved areas, small patch of dirt for no apparent reason.
Like
It's definitely realistic, but
Yeah.
The downside of having a lot of variations is if you're trying to direct someone using a perennial screamer and there's a bunch of places where you can put it, trying to figure out the right placement becomes
yeah,
really
that
hard.
is true.
And that was one of the things that we were definitely like struggling with and trying to figure out. I think like all of the problems that I name, I think are solvable with more time.
I think they're definitely hard ones though, and I feel like honestly like a lot of what we're talking about, like this is very inspired by Metal Gear. These are a lot of things that Metal Gear really struggles with.
Yeah.
It really does struggle to like correctly like especially like once you move away from the original PlayStation 1, like they really struggle to communicate like what are like guards like sight ranges, what are like in general like how like what are distances on noises.
Yeah, I like this doesn't have to have the range is shown. I feel like if you give someone a lot more choice, you'd have to have it be like, I'm preparing to plant a perennial screamer, show me the radius.
Yeah. Which is not necessarily bad.
No, but it's nice that this works without it at this point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There is like one thing that we did in terms of tuning it differently than Metal Gear is in general, like one, we have the sight line showing you if a guard can see you.
Yeah.
To help indicate, but also everything's a little bit slower paced, so it's a little bit more casual friendly. So if we go, it'll go through the transformation, and I'll send a link.
Oh wow! Oh, that would be so expensive.
I hadn't seen the little seeds graffiti where someone's left your stash for you.
So what's changed here is there's a noise thing that would go away, sort of a pollution noise that's gone, but that's just an effect over top. What's really changed is just like the plants, but that's a lot of the plants is the same tiles that we already have. Like this isn't actually adding expense. What you're seeing here.
Is that water either using a different color or more reflective?
Oh,
the water looks so much more real than it did in the active prototype.
There's some reflection stuff, some fake reflections.
Yeah, that looks really nice.
Are the vines a ladder?
Yeah, there would be a ladder. Like that's where we wanted to have like multi.
It would have also been cool if it was possible to get the climbing vines to grow over a poster that's propaganda.
Yeah. The like I think that the height is one of the things I'd get rid of first because it adds so much complexity. Without adding that much in terms of interesting gameplay.
And like the moment I look at this, it's like
maybe indicate it like those stairs could be where the exit is.
Yeah.
Do stuff like that sort of would hint at height but not actually have it in the main game.
Although it would be interesting if like you climb down the pipes and like now the enemies can't follow you.
So here's the fully thing. The thing that gets really expensive is animating all of those different types of people.
I like an unintentional thing that is maybe less so after that last shot, but like this unintentional thing of like all of the like pre-anarchy people are these like really drab, depressed looking dudes, and after being introduced to anarchism, they're all girls with multicolored hair. That's just very interesting to me.
They aren't all girls. But
well,
they
all
have
cute.
multicolored hair. Yeah, they're all cuter.
They're definitely not businessmen.
It's like the trash can would also be like a permanent hiding place, like not just the trees, but you'd also be able to hide in the trash. Don't know if this shows. Maybe I can pull up something on.
Oh, Molly or Eric did the portraits.
Yeah,
they're really good.
And Clarissa de Nederlanden is the voice of Molly.
She was like
in the special thanks.
She was the femme fatale with a problem in every single episode of Blackjack Justice.
And I believe she's the flying squirrel in The Red Panda. I like that little treatment of the logo. So yeah, let me. Is this safe to open? Will it be on some random thing of yours, or can
Go for it.
open a new window? Doo, doo, doo. Oops.
Oh, we're not in the network though.
Oh yeah, we're not on that one. Oh,
For safety.
okay, we might get a little bit of slowdown.
Hoisted on our own petards.
Hopefully not much. Now everyone knows that I'm a big Evangelion fan.
Oh no.
Surprise!
Damn.
Shock! This is sort of tucked away a little bit, since it's not a game that we're releasing. So yeah, I'll put the link to this. There's actually a lot of like stuff on our blog about the making of this. We did a lot of videos and such. I think, yeah, this is one of the images that they'll take a second to
Oh
load.
wow.
So this is showing some of the electrical stuff that we had planned. The canine units, which have cute little ears on their
The man trap.
Yeah.
Right there. in
the
front,
Venus
yeah.
man trap going on.
Just a very busy shot.
Yeah, no. And their designs. This is the Minister of Privacy and Public Privacy and State Intelligence, who could disguise themselves as various people. Minister of Trade and Contraband. Minister of Truth and Entertainment. These are some great sketches from Eric.
That's good.
Yeah.
Minister of Research and Mental Health, who's got like poison and is totally gothy.
Definitely she and Molly have met before.
Minister of the Environment and Chemical Weapons. The scientist, who is sort of a helper. The smuggler, who is the one who's like dropping trees for you.
Aww.
The kid, street kid. So that had like a whole like script, not like every bit of dialogue, but all of the story beats planned out. So there's the Minister of Contraband and Trade. Close up of there using a nearby electrical tree, and then these tulip bulbs could sort of extend the electricity from a source.
Wow.
There's the boss, the Minister of Chemical Weapons,
And the
throwing
environment.
and the environment, throwing a poison gas canister.
Molly looks concerned.
Yeah. So yeah, lots of concept art. And yeah, there's a lot of videos if people want to see sort of the making of, description of some of the plants, etc. So yeah, that was the first prototype. So one of the unfortunate things that happened while we were showing this and trying to get money was literally during production, Plants vs. Zombies came out and Farmville came out.
Man,
And
remember those?
So the things like we went in like gardening game, that could be anything. Like there was Harvest Moon and not really anything else. So like we're making a hardcore stealth puzzle gardening game. Sure. Those things being huge meant everyone we talked to was like, why don't you put it on Facebook? And it's like it's a game for fans of Metal Gear Solid. It's not.
You know, as bad as it is right now, at least I feel like that is pretty worse.
Yeah, it was
Like,
a weird
yikes.
time. That was a strange time. The other strange thing was when we had a meeting at GDC with a Chinese publisher, and I'm about to put on the trailer we made for it, and it literally starts with the words "the dictator" and a big like sort of authoritarian guy in a suit. And I'm like, oh, is this gonna be like a weird thing? And no, they were just like, how can you add monetization to this? Is there a way to add microtransactions? which I think tells you everything about the Chinese political system at the moment.
You know, I'm thinking about when I visited Beijing, and just the one thing that sticks in my mind is this mural of Chairman Mao leading the Red Army to victory, and this was positioned so that Mao appeared to be like, it's like Mao's here, the army's here, and semantically he's supposed to be looking out over it, but in fact he's looking out over this mall food court where this mural was installed. I don't know. I wasn't really sure what to think about that.
So yeah, that was the first Spooky Squid game that never got made. But I'm happy with like the stuff we did with it. I think it's interesting as sort of a little experiment now, and a lot of nice art.
And I mean, I do feel like often like knowing when to like put down an idea that isn't going to work out is really important.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing that I think is a pity is that like the things that probably would have been the most successful because they were big and ambitious are the things that we've often had to can.
Yeah.
And trying to find that balance between.
I mean, there are also things that might have destroyed you in the process.
Oh yes. Trying to find that balance between the things that are big enough that people will be really excited about, but also something that an indie team can handle without necessarily being counting on having to get publisher funding, etc. Because the publisher funding thing is like a total crapshoot.
Yeah.
And continues to be.
Seems like moving over to not rolling your own engines and doing some or all of your own programming has made things.
Well, definitely, like, I think when me and Andrew work together, we would both push each other farther, which can be a bad thing in terms of ambition because you don't cut features. I'd be like, can we do this? I'm not sure if we can do this. Like, oh, I can totally code this. And I'm like, can you draw this like extra bit of animation showing this nice thing? I'm like, oh, I can totally draw that. And then you're like, okay, we made this game a lot more expensive. Thoughts
that was
on the 10 years of Spooky Squid Games? So I actually I'll post the tweet. I have a huge tweet chain that I've been doing over the last week that I still have more to add to, that is the complete history of Spooky Squid Games.
Yeah, including a bunch of stuff from another unreleased game that we haven't gone into, Dark Heart Cappy, which
would have been fun to stream, except that it crashes easily, so it's not the easiest thing for us to get through a full match of.
It was such a great concept. It looked so good.
Yeah, we've shared a ton of the art, but there's still like a ton. Like, if you think there was a lot of art for this, Dark Heart we had production money for, so it went a lot farther. But same sort of problem of just like not having quite enough time, and not having quite enough money to be able to complete it to the quality that would actually be like good to release. What is next after this? I have a bunch of ideas, but it really depends on how well Russian Subway Dogs sells. Because if it sells a little bit, it's going to be something very small. If it sells a lot, it's going to be something more ambitious. And definitely, like, if you want to see more stuff like this, both the free games and the pay games, buying the existing Spooky Squid Games is a really good way to do that and help us out. And if you already own them, giving them to friends, they make great gifts. And that's Russian Subway Dogs and They Bleed Pixels, and I'll also post links to those.
I mean, it's definitely been just like wild playing these, like, and like having seen Russian Subway Dogs, which is like, in a lot of ways, it's like building off everything you've done in the past.
No,
like you sort of have like this, seeing like you doing like really early systemic stuff compared to like how good it feels in Russian Subway Dogs.
It's definitely like a smaller, tighter space, which helped a lot.
Yeah.
You definitely, like, you can see through lines through all of this stuff. Like, there is a bunch of stuff I learned from guerrilla gardening in Russian Subway Dogs, despite them being wildly different games. But yeah, if people have any questions, we'll keep the stream open a little bit while I post links. But thanks so much for joining us on this. It was fun to show some of this old stuff.
I'm so happy to have finally gotten to play that.
That was really interesting.
Where's my notepad with links?
I would actually play more of the. I would actually play more of those first couple 4-player games. You should like. Did you ever have these in rotation in the everyone comes over to Miguel's house and plays 4-player games days? Or
A little bit.
I feel like we did some Black Church.
Yeah, we've done some Black Church. Definitely there were, like, when they were in production, I'd do that for testing. So guerrilla gardening info. And I think this is let me double check, this is the giant chain history longest thread I will ever make in Twitter. You'll have to hit more tweets many times to see all of this. Yep, this is it. Now where is chat? Oh no, I've lost chat. There's chat. Tweets. It was fun sharing this stuff. Folks saying, rare treat to see mid-production games. Maybe at some point we'll try Dark Heart, but I need to, like, figure out what causes crashes, because, like, we're taking just some screenshots of it to share recently, and yeah, it crashes, like, randomly and a lot.
We've seen what you can do in a weekend. Just rebuild it in Game Maker.
Yeah, no problem.
Imagine like doing like an offline stream where you like record playing through it, and then like people on the stream can tell that like there's like visible jumps, like that there's like a ray of light coming from the window, and it like noticeably jumps by like an hour between like 2 seconds while we have reboot it.
And they bleed pixels.
I got to play it once, and I do remember accidentally throwing important things into holes and getting stuck.
Yeah, I had a lot of...
Just like in actual high school.
Yeah, the Dark Heart Academy game is...
Wait, what?
You didn't have endless pits in your high school? How did you play the pit game?
You know, the school spirit bottomless pit.
Yeah.
The worst thing about falling into
Where did the bodies go? Christine, where did the bodies go? How did high school even work for you?
Just left them in lockers?
You still had bats, right? Like, were you at one of those good schools with the golden bats?
My high school did have water that smelled like sulfur coming out of every tap. So.
Ooh.
That's also concerning.
It had personality.
That's Satan. Yeah, Dark Heart Academy was a mix of a game called Dungeons of Fate, which was sort of has a sequel with what's it called, the Kit Fox game?
Moon Hunters?
Moon Hunters.
Yeah.
But it was sort of the game that Tanya and I'm forgetting his name suddenly, but they did sort of this earlier game called Dungeons of Fate, which is a jam game, and Persona. So it was a lot of occult stuff, but also a lot of like cool teens in fashionable clothing.
And it's like
Not
your
going to
dungeon
class.
bits are very like roguelike-y.
Roguelike-y with a lot of systemic stuff. Like,
But not like in an RPG way, like in a very sort of action...
yeah, no, in the sort of stuff that Guerrilla Gardening has and that Russian Subway Dogs has, the sort of like, these systems interact in complex ways and provide sort of interesting, unique challenges and ways to solve things. We had a bat get into my high school around Halloween and fell asleep from a classroom ceiling. His decoration freaked out when he tried to take it down. That is amazing.
Oh, wow.
That is a quality school story. So yeah, thanks for joining us on this, the 10th year. Join you again in 10 years.
10 more years. 10 more years. 10 more years.
when we will be streaming on 3D Twitch, which will be some sort of holographic projection system. No, let's not kid ourselves, where we'll all be fighting in the wastelands of a post-global warming.
But we'll still have Twitch.
At least we won't be able to tweet about it.
Oh no.
Because Twitter will be banned. Or it'll be the only form of government. It's
Twitter-
definitely one of the two, though.
Twitter will be the only form of government, and
I'm-
only
I'm-
those who have cell phones will have any power.
I'm definitely expecting it to be much. So America. I realize this is the socialist paradise, haha, of Canada, but in America currently, it's easier to get a cell phone than healthcare. I'm anticipating it being easier to get a cell phone than food.
I was thinking games would involve more rocks and sticks, but still a lot of bottomless pits.
This is true. The systemic thing will be you can set yourself on fire.
Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
10 more years. 10 more years.
10 more beers. 10 more beers. 10 more beers.
10 more years.
10